going on, y'all? It is every other Wednesday night here on Three Star Draw, and you know that means it's time for the backyard battlefield. I am down south 77, and as I have changed it on several formats, also Three Star Draw. With me is my buddy way up to the north.
Crusty old crow. How's it going?
You guys already knew that, but we always have to do that part. So,
Yeah.
uh, what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Oh, good. It's one of those rare fig in the mail days today. So never a bad day when you get figs in the mail.
Yeah, that's always a plus when it's one of them days. So
Yeah.
I got some stuff today too.
Mhm.
What's the weather like? You still got the snow up there? You sent me a picture the other morning and was like, "Son of a bitch, I thought we were through with this."
No, Mother Nature, being the perfect woman she is, has changed her mind and everything melted like really fast. Like it's almost gone now. One day of quick, need a foot of snow, we'll give you a foot of snow, and then the next day it's melting. So
Well, that's the best way to get it, especially for you guys where it's prone to sticking around for a long time up there. So did you have to do any shoveling?
yeah, it's usually right around the time I'm talking about changing my winter tires over that she gives us one more dump, right? So
Hmm. So you
Mhm.
had to did you have to leave? Did you have to go anywhere and get out in it?
No, I did a bit of shoveling. I'm a veteran, so I have a disability that I get a service comes clears the end of my driveway. I have a rather long driveway for my area, not for driveways. For the area I live in, my driveway is longer and it fits a few more cars. So
Right.
because of the veteran status and whatnot, they come clear that, but I have to clear all the in between and the walkway and the patio. So that usually takes me about a good 2 hours, anyways. That's about it.
Oh
So two
man.
hours of shoveling, yeah.
I can't imagine having to shovel snow.
Well, I mean, you've done yard work where you've had to push mowers all day, right? Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's that kind of labor. It's like this isn't complicated. It's straight line remove, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of switch off when you do it. But yeah, it's at my age now, it's getting a bit laborious.
Yeah, and it's just the hassle of knowing that you have to do it. It's like mowing the yard. It's like it's not really hard. It's just this is 2 hours I'd rather spend doing anything else.
Yeah, yeah. My
Oh,
favorite is when
it's
I finish shoveling everything, and then my son goes out the door, grabs the shovel, and I say, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm gonna go shovel the neighbor's yards for money." I'd be like, "Why didn't you start here 2 hours ago?" you know?
yeah. You could have started here for room and board.
Yeah, we have money. I'll pay you.
Yeah, yeah, that's oh man, that is one thing about having kids that I always thought would be a good part would be that you have some free labor, but the
No,
the short
that
the short time that I was raising some, helping to raise some, that was not the case.
no, that is complete false advertising, if not complete farm community living kind of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the
Yeah,
it's the it's the worst, man. I'm gonna
yeah.
go ahead and go through the chat, say hi to everybody. Otherwise, it will get
Please, yeah.
buried and we'll get way too far down. So, Triple D's Dungeon,
Changed his
which
name, did he?
again, and he also changed his symbol to the wax seal on the Tangeray bottle. It looks like the wax seal on the bottle of Tangeray.
Made it the exact
So
moment he decided to change his name.
Yeah. So Daredevil Dave, Triple D's dungeon. I don't know the story behind what Triple D's dungeon is, and if it's safe for chat, let us know because I didn't get a chance to ask you why you changed it again.
Yeah, either this is hopefully diorama and toy related. If not, I
Yeah, if it's not, just put NA down there,
not.
Dave. So.
Yeah, not sure I'll watch the first video.
uh, Same time, Toys is here. What's going on, Shane? I got to hang out for a few minutes. Him and Woody were on earlier, and I kind of listened to the tail end of that stream. So,
Right on.
you crusty old crow
Yeah, I'm
here.
there.
Let's see, get on down the road a little bit further. Viper Scout is here. What's going on, Viper Scout? Roman Graham is in the house. What's happening, guys?
Hey.
Just chilling. Just chilling. Derek Holloman, what's going on, Derek? And I did actually have this written down. Crimson Cobra Commander next year is going to be his 1 year anniversary of his
I
channel. So
I did read that, and congratulations, Triple C. I remember when you weren't a channel and you were a subscriber, and that's how we knew you. And then a year later, you've got a channel and it's doing well. So congrats early on that. I'm I'm just ashamed right now. I don't think I ever focused on when my year was. I just guesstimated and I never did a video. And now I'm like, what a wasted opportunity. I should have done one. It's
we'll
past
just
though.
like, you can just be like, well, this is my 1 year, 5 month, and 3 week anniversary of doing my channel. Just go back and look at your first published video date. And
Yeah.
there you go.
No, but yeah, but congrats again. And yeah, you, Triple C, Shane, all in the same kind of bracket, eh?
Yeah. I
Well,
started
I should
mine
say
in
you and Pop.
Yeah, I started mine in October, and then our show was in April. So,
Yeah, I
see,
did mean you and Pop's show. Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm.
The collector is here. Congrats on the dragon. We're gonna talk about that. Thank you. We're gonna talk
Mhm.
about old Bay there here in a little
Mm.
bit.
Hey,
Let's
what?
Bay through. See him in over a year.
Yeah. Well,
Let's see. Dave says the symbol has been the same forever. I thought it was
yeah.
lighter, I thought it was like drawn. Okay.
It looks like it's been reprinted, Dave. Like it's a sharper image or but
Maybe
I
that's what
know
it
that
is.
I did it is the exact same logo he's been using, but he did
Okay.
change his
Well,
name. Like
okay.
he's
Maybe
got
he went in
something to
and
hide.
yeah, I think he's running from somebody. Maybe he cleaned it up a little bit. I don't know. Added some
Mm,
saturation to it, perhaps. Lunchbox
perhaps.
Killer is here. What's going on, Lunchbox? How you doing, buddy?
Hey. Familiar
Let's
was
see. And he says, that's the way the channel's headed. Do you know how hard it is to find me amongst Dave Osborne? I bet.
mm,
Daredevil Dave, I bet. I bet.
yeah,
Dioramas and customs. So Dave's
good
diorama.
buddy.
Okay. I should have put that together, but I did not.
Right on, Dave. Well, already a fun sounded channel, dude. Like the name.
Right? Dave's trying to get me to send him an accessory so he can wrench on it and customize an accessory. He wants me to
Interesting.
send him he wants me to send him the hourglass that comes with Maxilius the Harvester so he can actually put sand in it.
Oh, mm, what a gamble. I could see why, but I could also see why
Yeah,
not.
kind of hesitant, man. Sabir Del Norte is in the house, fellas in the chat and on the screens, and Tony's Figs. Geez, everybody live on Wednesday. What's up, Darren and Brian? But I think that was a typo because he meant
That's
Ryan.
all
But
right.
he come out. You must be doing it on the phone. It auto corrects Ryan to Brian all the time for me.
I think that's probably the first time anyone's ever tried to call me anything but Crow. So thanks, Tony.
Crow is so much easier to say. It's one syllable.
It is easier, and
It rolls
you,
off
you
the tongue.
you try to make it easy, right? That's the gig.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's why I finally went ahead and changed my Instagram to 3 Star Draw because it's just so hard for people to correlate the two. So I'm like, you know what? I was up late the other night. I'm like just gonna streamline all this. So
Yeah. I was
um
gonna say we should change you one more time to Big D, but I think you'd get a weird audience at that point.
big triple D
Big
compete
Triple
with
D. We've lost all our subscribers,
everybody left. So
but we got
yep, stupid
40,000
arbitrary.
others.
So I get Tony said, yeah, right. I lost everybody that I wanted to talk to and watch me, and I don't know where all these weird bastards come from.
They won't stop talking to me.
uh, Tony says, stupid autocorrect. Tony, I've got somebody that I talk to a lot of the day, every single day, that texts me, and it needs its own deciphering. It needs its own Enigma code machine. And
It
I've gotten
does.
pretty good at figuring some of it out, but sometimes I'll just send back like a question mark. And like I don't know. I think I know what this is, but I'm not real sure. So autocorrect's
It
a mofo, man.
man, that's like the first task I'm gonna give my AI is be like, go sort out my autocorrect.
Yes,
I never
fix
want this to happen
autocorrect.
again. Yeah, fix that bitch.
It sound like something fell, but don't look.
It did. I
Don't.
thought I heard it in my
I don't know what that.
mm.
I don't know what it was. I'm
Oh,
looking
it was
over
just your most
here.
expensive figure. Don't worry.
Uh, that's happened recently. um, no, well, if it was anything over here, it wouldn't have been just one thing. You'd have heard dominoes over here. I've got to rearrange everything soon too.
That's fine.
Sabir says he'll be listening. He's working in the background tonight. So thank you for having us on in the background. Just hit that like and then you can listen away, man.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. I thought I saw one other thing. Hold on. Where would it go? I'm looking. I'm looking. I'm looking.
I'm gonna open up the chat on my other tablet. I'll be a bit behind on the chat there, fellas. If y'all don't
Yeah,
mind.
man. Chat's hard to keep up with, man.
It is,
Sometimes.
and my it's clearly my iPhone that I'm using as my camera, guys. So I sure as shit not gonna be able to read chat. Can barely read what's up on the banner right now. So yeah.
um, Viper Scout says Tony calls him Ed, and he thinks he's always talking to action figs when he does it. So, um,
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of Ryans on YouTube, and you know, pretty
some
easy not
better
to get
than
us
others.
confused. Yeah, well, just easy not to get us confused, right?
Yeah, a lot of repeat names. That's why we always have stage names.
Yeah, there you go.
Tony, this is a. It's probably on their site. This is a Super Seven shirt. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they ever made Street Fighter stuff or not. Maybe I know. I think they made the reaction figures, but this is actually a Super Seven shirt. When we were at Toylanta and I was down there and we were hanging out with Yojo Depot, like I've mentioned before, he's got a really good relationship with Super 7 and his shop moves Super 7 stuff. Like he sells a shitload of Super 7 stuff and he will buy like mixed pallets of stuff from them and sometimes he doesn't even know what he's going to get and he took some of it down there. I didn't even know he had these, but he had a bunch of t-shirts and some of them were Street Fighter 2 shirts. So it's like, well, I'm kind of a Street Fighter poser now, so I guess I'm going to get the shirt.
Yeah,
I like this. It's the beat up. It's all the beat up faces of
I
all
don't.
the characters.
Why would you? Well, I don't like it calling yourself the poser when you've thrown so much money at it recently. It's
If I didn't do it, somebody was going to somewhere, so I figured I'd own it.
yeah.
Because I wasn't a fan of the game, but I'm a fan of the toys. So,
That's
um,
fair. That's fair.
man, Tony, wouldn't that be awesome if they released a head pack, like the beat up head for each character, the beat up
Yeah,
head sculpts.
give them some room to wiggle with the options on that. The new Fei Long with his nunchucks. So Fei Long being the one character, the first character I ever bought from this, and I never wanted to get a second one. It's the look you only needed once. And then
Yeah,
the new Fei Long set comes with like these beautiful nunchucks. It's like you
yeah,
sons of bitches.
they look great, and I'm like you, like it hadn't been that long since I got Fei Long, but I don't really need another Fei Long. Like I'm not getting the variants of the Jada figures. Um, There's one or two that I really like. I want the pink Chun Li, the SDCC Chun Li. I like blue Player Two Bison, but most of the other ones I'm not going to collect the variants on. And there he is right there. Matthew Matson, I was about to say, I think Matthew just got that Fei Long. He told me the other day. And it has a new face also.
Oh, an old
He
face.
wants,
The
yeah, the O face.
oh,
Oh, oh, oh. There's Jay Astro, just as I do that, coming in right at the right time.
yeah.
I was going to bring this up, Jay Astro, so I'll go ahead and mention it now. This was like 15 minutes before we went on. I was reading this email and I hadn't had a chance to read it all. BBTS sent an email out. All prices are going to start reflecting tariffs.
Oh,
Even though they already just went up on their shit for everything. Unless if you didn't have it pre-ordered, it went up at least $2. So I
mm,
have to reread the email, but from what I gleaned from it, they're going to move things back down to what the price was. It doesn't affect anything that you've got on pre-order now. I actually have this email. I've got it over here. Um, I just I just share it. Yeah, that'd be the easiest way.
well, I
Is
mean,
I
I,
can't
I,
really blow it up though. I don't think.
and I mean, we were trying to talk about this about a month ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, this was going to happen, and it wasn't hard to see coming. But wow, like now the impact is here. And just to give you an idea how volatile this is going to be, didn't Trump just announce he's going to suspend his international tariffs 90 days? He's moved the feud over to China
Yeah,
again,
and he's
right?
moving
And
the
so
moving
now,
the goalpost.
right? So now they reciprocated with what was it, 104% tariff increase to international goods
Mm-hmm.
with the US, and he had gone back. Now there's a 90-day suspension on all this. So
Yeah,
these toy companies that are dependent on that relationship right now are merely trying to protect their interests. And we're gonna pay for it all the whole way through. And it's wild to watch it execute like this.
yeah.
Mm,
So this is I'm gonna read this paragraph. I'm not gonna read this to you. You guys probably got this in your inbox right now. This is the
mm,
part. This is what I was about to say. What I gleaned from it. So this is to minimize confusion during this rapidly changing situation, we will be changing newly affected pre order product listings to reflect our normal non tariff based price. We will also add a notice indicating that a tariff surcharge will be added at
mm,
the time of the product's arrival. We will inform you of the full amount before your payment method is charged. You will also
okay.
be able to cancel your pre order at that time if the surcharge amount is something you do not wish to pay. Our customer service team, as always, will be ready to help with issues. We're going to be very flexible. Today, we expect the surcharge may be between 15 to 40% of the pre order price. However, that could change as the situation continues to unfold. Please
Yep.
note that any items currently in stock are not subject to the tariff.
Wow.
BBTS can kiss my entire ass at
Wow.
this point. I
Well,
wish I could get Operation Monster Force figures somewhere else, but since they went up on them, I'm about on par with Woody. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna bother with those anymore.
so this is just how BBTS is going to deal with this, right? Like this is just the first notice of what eventually more and more companies, I think, with an ordering system are going to have to start putting out something like this because this is a surcharge that's being attached to your thing, which is a varying spinning wheel depending on the data release. Is it 15%?
Yeah,
Well, what's tomorrow? 35 because these tariff market is BS.
yeah. And
Mhm.
we're talking about BBTS, so they're already marking it up. So how do I know what markup they're building into tariffs? Um,
Yo,
yeah,
wow.
I don't. So I'm not. not real thrilled with this email, but I expected it from to get it. I expect to get one from Entertainment Earth too, something similar.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't buy much from Entertainment Earth because you got to spend so much to get free shipping. But so
It just occurred to me. I got to do this. I have to do this, Darren.
do it.
So just remember, while places like Viper Island and other broadcasters were so focused on the Cobra Commander battle armor, we were talking about the more important shit like the tariff stuff over a month ago. There's our brag. We saw this coming.
That's
We were
right.
talking about this over a month ago. Fuck off. There.
That's right. We were talking about it and we touched on it a little bit. So
Mhm.
you guys probably have this email in your inbox. I imagine most everybody in here um, did. So Turk Murphy's in the house. Howdy, fellas. What's going on, Turk?
Hey, Turk. Good to see Turk on Punk there the other week.
Yeah, it was. It was a good show. A good
Mhm.
show. It was really interesting. Turk been through some shit, man. If you guys hadn't
Yeah, man.
watched that Thursday with the friend on Punk's channel, go check that out. Um, it's a good one. Really interesting story. Crimson Cobra Commander, yeah, and I just started to get into 3 new toy lines. Tell me about it. Tell
Me
me
too.
about it.
I've
Yeah, I'm
finally
grabbing
start
my
collecting
ankles.
Four Horsemen. I finally start buying Four Horsemen. I take advantage of a sale at BBTT or BBTS, and well, I guess that honeymoon's over, right? Like I have to pay international on top of that.
Yeah, that is not cool at all.
No.
Man, I do not understand. Sorry, I'm looking at the text, trying not to do that. But so I got a situation that I cannot figure out. So somebody in the chat that I cannot see, and I don't know why. So it's been trying to figure that out, and I have no
Mm.
I can't
It
find anything.
it totally looked like you were pissing in a Gatorade bottle, dude. Like, I mean, it did not appear like you were locked into your phone, so I would have just gone with that.
It's actually a milk jug, and I could just cut the top out of it.
This
Way
is
I don't have to hold it. It just got a general direction there.
That's what
Uh,
when you guys see me looking down, this is me trying to get just a tinkle, just
yeah,
a
just
tinkle.
a drop at a time.
Yeah, I'm not working on anything. I'm trying to.
You need to set you up a workstation cam so everybody knows for sure. So
Then turn my mic to crap.
yeah, probably. So let's see. I'll read through the chat here. Tark says, just scratch the surface, let it charm life. Well, it's working out, so I'm glad to see that.
Mm.
Good show. J Astro said his 401k went down. America really is great again. I ain't even looked at mine. I don't want to look at mine. I
Is
should
that
be
like
getting a statement any day. Retirement.
that's your retirement benefit package,
Yeah.
right? Like based off your
Yeah.
earnings over your life.
Yeah,
So
you can
and
put
that
money into it. Most employers will contribute. They'll match it or match part of it and build it
okay.
up. You can move
So
it from job to job.
does the US have something called RRSPs out there?
Not
'Cause
that I
that
know
sounds like
of.
okay, it sounds like our RRSP programs. So now I've
That's
always wondered what a 401k was. I hear them always talked about, and I was like,
yeah,
it's never come up what exactly they do for you.
yeah. No,
Mhm.
Shark Eyes is in the house. What's going on? Daz Crow and all the rest of you scallywags. Greetings. What's going
Going
on,
on,
Shark
shark
Eyes?
guys.
It is let's see, it's morning over there, mid-morning, right? It'll be about no, early afternoon over there, I
I
think, right now.
I always picture when Shark Guy shows up, when he sees us, he's having his morning coffee at his beach house overlooking the surf and like with giant bats and great whites on the horizon. And you know this day is going to be brutal, but
There's a
yeah.
there's a kangaroo suspiciously watching him from the fig
Yeah,
tree. Dude.
grabs his Wakandan replica boomerang and
uh, Triple C wants to move to Canada. You're gonna have an extra bedroom in a few weeks, won't you?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's Triple C. We'd love to have you, buddy. You know, it's a we get it. It's a weird time to feel secure in anyone's country right now, ours and yours. So I get the sentiment.
um, oh, so I'm just reading through. So stock market's up 3,000 points today. Astro after it plunged. All right, so this is the point where I want to direct everybody to Pop Blender's new time. Is going to be at 9 o'clock Central on Sunday night, where he loves to talk about this stuff. So,
As soon as
uh,
I could see it, as soon as we started talking about politics and finance, I watched where we were from shallow water to deeper water, deeper. It was like, bloop.
you know,
Nope.
so I was
Talk to Pop.
yeah, I was waiting for a time to plug his new time for his solo show. He's moving it to Sundays and from Fridays, so sounds like a great time to let everybody know. Um,
Yeah.
he moved it. He's got to he has a lot of conflicts with Fridays, and he's had to reschedule it more than what he wants. So, and he's going to have a whole lot more summer into the fall. His son is in marching band, and
Mm.
between going to football games and band contests and things, um, he's decided Sunday was going to be better for him because he that way he can be more consistent. So, uh,
And
just the
that's
good
fair.
time to promote Cuz over there on his channel. So,
Yeah, and it's
uh,
easy to get caught into a bad loop for your family that works from the start but doesn't work throughout. We've seen it happen to a few people before. So, trying to find something that works within what he can do with his son right off the hop is always a good move.
yep. And he like I mean his whole like if he's not working, it kind of revolves around his son, which is how it ought to be. So that
Absolutely.
will
Yeah.
give him his Fridays free when he picks his son up and hang out with him, and then Saturday and then at Sunday, what he's planning like is after he takes his son home after their weekend, he'll have time to get back and get ready. It's just a better move overall. I just told him only
Hmm.
thing I was worried about was with it being a Sunday, Friday people stay up all night and don't matter most of the time for most of us, and do whatever. And Monday, set for Saturday, Monday people might have to get up. So, but he's moving it up like 30 minutes to help with that. So, anyway, there's the plug for Pop Blender's channel. So let's talk about let's see my banners here. My banners are recent toy pickups because we both picked up some stuff recently.
This is
So
true.
you
Um,
just mentioned that you got your first Four Horsemen figures.
I did. I've actually got a Cosmic Legions and a Mythic Legions so far. But the first one that was out the door was I got Zyrion's Spire because BBTS, like I said, was having a sale on some of these. Like they were clearing out some old stock. And I really wanted to, stop being the guy that nods when everybody's talking about Four Horsemen stuff and be like, yeah, it sounds really cool. Having
Yeah,
never touched one, right? I saw them at Joe Fest and I never even thought about buying one because I was so fixated on what it was I was there to grab, right? So
right.
these are these are great, but they're
That
expensive.
yeah, they really are. They're a good price for what you get, but they are. I mean, they're a little higher price point figure. Some of them come with a lot of stuff. Some of them don't come with as much stuff. But I think
Mhm.
overall, like quality wise and stuff, you're getting more for your money because each one of those figures is a work of art. And just I'm
Yeah.
going off the classified, which is main thing most of us collect. Like it's not very many figures that I'm going to hold up and say this is a work of art. There's a
Yeah.
few, but there's not like a skimped on Four Horsemen Legion figure. I'm gonna put you on full screen if you want to show that one up.
No.
And what
Yeah.
is that one's name? Their names, dude, are so hard to pronounce.
Zirian Spires. She was an engineer and then a pirate or whatever, and then she fought in the gladiators. Whatever limited lore I can pick up off the side of the box, but with these amazing soft goods, look at me. I am everything Storm Shadow was not. Fuck off. But yeah, two good heads. Kind of looks like X-Men's Mystique a little bit, but
Yeah.
got her own thing. There's a couple of characters in the line that look like her, but yeah, I got her, and I got the skeleton Legion builder for whatever, for Mythic Legions, and I actually have a Wicked Man crush on this thing now. So
That's such a good figure for one of their like their basic price point figures. He is such an awesome figure. I forgot he
yeah,
come with the bow. I don't have him posed with the bow.
with the real string, like that's the best part. It's not just a shitty piece of plastic. It's an actual tight string. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's all you need. They could have dry brushed some of the hilts of the weapons a bit more with some extra color. Like, it is kind of, well, the color is beautiful. The attention to detail for the builder pack I found was kind of like, nah, you'll accept this. And we were like, yes,
yeah,
yes, we will, because the skeleton looks great. But yeah, they're not
yeah,
without their nicks, right? But
yeah. And they do a little bit on the builders because there are a lot of people that are buying them. I mean, they're building legions. They're buying 3, 4 at a time of those guys, so they know.
yeah.
And it's more of like the mix and match with the parts for them.
And that's
You
just it. If I bought like 5 of these, probably only one would have a quiver, and maybe it would be a better quiver from another set that I'm doing. Like, I could see why they don't care like as much, but just amazing sets, but nowhere near. I wish it was bigger and had wings and breathed fire. Just a minor tweak to the size, maybe like 4, 7 feet bigger.
yeah, something like that, something the size of a coffee table.
Just a little correction, just bigger.
um, Crimson Cobra Commander, how strong are Mythic Legions? Like, what do you mean? Like the plastic durability? How strong are they?
He
Um,
cuts me.
yeah, be a little more specific on what you're asking. Like the plastics good. Plastic on them's good.
Yeah,
Woody Triple Deuce is here. What's going on, Woody?
they do warn you to, like, I was warned well in advance, use the hair dryer and everything like that on it. And I felt it, like, when I got it out. Mind you, it had been
Yeah.
sitting in Canadian weather mailbox too, right? But I mean, like, you could feel it. It did not want to give at first until the hair dryer got to it.
And so the first Cosmic Legion guy that I got, the Waltor the Mad, if you hadn't watched that review, watch it on like 1.5 speed. I stopped it and heated that guy up, and it took forever holding the hair dryer on it. Just to get everything heated up and softened up. A lot of times the pegs, the stuff that plugs into the pegs, like into the back, you want to heat the back and push the peg in. Some of them require a pretty significant amount or an amount of heat, but time that you hold the heat on there. And the paint on them is so good that sometimes the joints kind of seat together from the paint, where the paint will kind of stick and hold them together a little bit. So if
Hmm.
you heat it, it'll soften that paint so you can break it loose some. Um, so yeah, I honestly, with your weather, just having had snow and stuff, if I got a Mythic Legion in, say our winter here, as cold as it got this year for us, I probably would not open it up till the next day. I'd probably let it set in the house or let it set at least for a few hours on top of a floor vent.
Ain't nobody got time for that shit.
I know, I know, I know. Let's see. So he's the durability. So I'm plastic, I guess. So I'm no
Yeah.
plastic expert, but it's pretty
So
good.
yeah, I'm not gonna scratch this thing, and I'm not gonna try and top this thing. I'll say this. The hand pins are not something I'm worried about with this right now, Triple C. Like they're not something I'm worried about snapping. They come in and out pretty easily for a 6-inch figure. Like the hand pins are actually pretty thick and durable on the one
Yeah.
that I'm dealing with. Right. So I'm not worried about the fragility of some of those joints. What I am worried about is I can't get a good definition of the, for lack of better words, the crotch socket system that they're using there and what happens when that takes an impact, a bit falling off a shelf. That's the only area I'm actually really kind of concerned about. And then, if they have little details on their head, it seems like they're using a soft enough material that I think it's not to worry about. So. That's my initial reaction. The weapons are a different story entirely. I am terrified of this sniper rifle's length. Right?
Yeah. Falling.
Falling, yeah, snagging, and it's cool looking, but they include those kind of dog clipped straps for the weapons with adjustable straps. And these are the kind of things that I saw Punk review once. He had a company that
Hmm.
was doing these on his show. So I was kind of impressed. In the future, we still use the military style dog clip system.
You're right. I think that's the same sniper rifle that came with shooter.
Oh my god, this is a shooter.
It's shooter in disguise.
What the actual fuck? Oh, they does break. Yes, triple C it breaks.
Oh, yeah, right. So
Yeah.
I pulled out a. You were talking about the hand pegs. So this is one
Yeah.
of the skeleton hands. So see if I can that a little better focus there. So
Oh
the
yeah.
hand pegs for these guys are pretty thick.
Hmm.
So they do have a pretty good, a pretty nice mushroom tip on them. So they they do work pretty well.
I
Be
think
off
what
the
I
clip.
like, what stands out about it, I think and I'm sure Savage Crucible, just off the top of my head, is probably exactly the same. Like, for one, we're dealing with sword and sorcery kind of fantasy figures from a bunch of guys who normally collect GI Joes, right? Like, so it's kind of it's a new market, refresh to us. If you play Dungeons and Dragons and things like that, you'd be familiar. But if you put one of these next to your Joes or a Marvel Legend or what have you, it's almost like this has a matte finish versus their gloss finish on the figure, or the shine. Like the texture of this, it makes everything else less impressive. Just the way
Yeah,
that the texture contrasts with other figures on the shelf.
yeah. You can. I mean, everything is like everything has its own texture. Like
Yeah.
every different like all the different armor pieces or pants pieces or something like it's not just like a blanket over everything like you can
Hmm.
tell the love that goes into sculpting them. um,
Yeah.
it's funny we're sitting here talking about them and just a few weeks ago for Valentine's we talked about the lines that we'd break up with and I said Mythic Legion but that's
Hmm.
because of Four Horsemen stuff but that's because it's so good, man. It's like you can't stop getting them. You might not
Yeah.
buy every single one, but you find something to like in all of them, and it's really hard to have one and just be like I'm collecting the skeleton guys, and it's hard to just stick to the skeleton guys because I see so many other cool ones. I'm like, nope, I got to stick to one theme with these, or this will be all that I'm getting. And I'm not
Hmm.
quite done with GI Joe stuff yet. So
No, and that was just it. Like, it's not like I'm not gonna buy more of them. It's just I'm not gonna lie and say price doesn't drive my interest a little bit when it
yeah,
comes to a line like that, where I see the ability to save, that might select which character I do buy versus which one I would like to buy. Right.
yeah.
So.
It is definitely one of those things that if you can wait and you got your eye on one and like you did and picked it up on sale.
Mhm.
Sometimes when they will authorize a sale, even like BBTS or not BBTS them, but like Hella Dope, they will also run the same sale too. You know,
Yeah.
when the legions authorize one, or if a horseman authorize one from their for their retailers, for their authorized retailers. So,
Mm.
Bobby says, why not soak it in a hot bath? Let the water lubricate the joints a little bit as well. You
Yeah.
can. Um,
Another
I,
option. I'm not gonna lie,
uh,
that skeleton snagged me with his bow and got me good. So there's a blood oath to Mythic Legions now. I
yeah,
have to buy them all.
yep. Now there he is.
Fucking double got me.
I don't soak them. I know people do. I'm scared about the paint soaking them. I know people do it. I think on the little card that you get with them, it says heat them up. I think it mentions soaking them, but I know it says heat them up if you need to. I know people heat them, but I just have not heated them. Like I've grabbed a Joe and got a pan of water to, just not boiling but below, and tossed him in for 30 seconds. But I just worry about the paint with them. I don't feel like it's going to come off or anything. I just don't want anything to weaken it. So when I pick it up, it loses a bond or anything, because they are all very, very well painted. And when you move one around and you pick one up and start breaking the joints loose, you'll have little flecks of paint that will come off of it. It's completely normal for these guys. Like where I mentioned, sometimes the paint, when the joints are together and you start working them and that paint will stick, that's what's popping off of there, is almost like sprue coming off, like
Mhm.
paint sprue, I guess.
So I used to boil water, and then when the water was in its cooling stages, after a few minutes, I would throw the figure in, and I would get a very pliable figure. Everything would come apart like butter, right? But it's not the most
Yeah.
reliable or fun way to put a figure back together again afterwards. Using boiling water, it gets sloppy, icky. I prefer the hair dryer, and just the small hair dryer, like some high school kid would use in their locker or some shit. And I just target the knees, the ankle rockers, the elbows. I'm not worried
Yeah.
about the wrists, and I'm not worried about the head. Unless I'm going to swap the head, I'm not worried about the head. They've got a nice thick ball joint on this thing, and they're well
Yeah.
thick. Like the cast is thick. There's no thin parts that are going to crack on that,
Mm-mm.
but I wouldn't want to compromise small details like her hair follicle that hangs down. I'd be worried about hot water kind of deforming that when it cools.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. You also gotta wait on it to cool really before you start moving all of it around. You don't want to start bending it around
Mhm.
everything when it's still really hot. You just want to pop them loose just a little bit. I have a hair dryer about the same size as that one. It just I have hair for a hair dryer, and that's what I bought it for. It just stays in here. I don't even take it to the bathroom anymore. I don't dry it when I get out of the shower. I just use it in here for figures, and I will just heat whatever joint I'm trying to work on by that one, and then
Yeah.
work it, then go to if there's another one. And then Crimson Cobra Commander doesn't soak in water, the paint come off. That's You don't want to leave them soaking a long time. That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. I don't want to risk it.
If they're
And
a
then there,
repainted figure, like if there's something you're painting, don't soak it. If there's
yeah.
something coming off the factory, don't soak it for long. And maybe if you looking to see if there's, if you've got a really hard water problem versus a soft water problem, I don't know if that causes any issues, but I've never heard of paint falling off just because you soaked it in water.
Well, I think it's more about just softening it and it rubbing
Mm.
off, not just like coming off in the water, but you know,
Yeah, okay.
weakening the bond. That's what I worry
Yeah.
about. It's just weakening the bond on that paint. Derek
Yeah.
says he's seen people put them in bags for the water method, so you do that. I bought a whole pan, like a wok style pan. I bought a pan just for heating water on the stove or in the
So
microwave, and then putting it in there.
well, I think we should just start making up bullshit like microwave 3 minutes, and this thing is soft and ready to go.
Never
All the
mind those
accessories go in
bubbles.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never mind the
yeah,
bubbles that popped up on it. So
yeah. Any
um,
sounds you make are part of it.
that's right. And what's Kyle Peterson say? Your mileage will vary. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Um, have you got anything else in lately besides those?
Um, trying to think. I've bought the odd Marvel Legends, and I've just not been reviewing a lot of Marvel Legends lately because I haven't bought new ones. I've been going through the back catalog and just not interested. But I think I'm gonna try and track down more Cosmic Legions and hopefully maybe Crystal Ball on the way. But I did come up with this weird idea for Cobra Commander for my shelf. What if Magneto ended up being Cobra Commander? That'd be that'd be crazy. I just thought this looked good as a conversion for Magneto.
That that does look pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Uh, if you could
I want
figure
to
out a
find a
way to
way to
put his cape on there.
well, I want to find a way to have his helmet floating.
He's
Oh yeah.
moving the
Anyways,
helmet around.
yeah, no, I don't have many new figs right now. I'm just just kind of making stuff for the ones I have. What about you? Did you get more? Well, I know you got a ton
Oh,
more, but
I've gotten, but because our last show was right before we went to Toylanta, and I got so much stuff down there between what I bought and what Purple Elf bought, and all of what she bought is here. So there's so much stuff. I did my review on this dude. He's up, Sir Uzak. Uh,
yeah,
this is this is one of the most beautiful figures in my entire collection. And
I
this
couldn't
dude,
get over this. When you first sent me the picture of that, the scale did not reflect well. And then I watched your video where you're putting it together and just seeing the size of the hammer to the size of your hand. I was like, oh my God.
so Chun
Yeah.
Li is a tiny figure, but there you go.
She
So
fits in his hammer.
yeah, the hammer is bigger. It's bigger
Yeah.
than she is.
She's a
Um,
one swing. Yeah.
yeah, and it's got this thing on the bottom where you can just get stabby with it if he wants to. So
Oh yeah.
this guy's freaking awesome. He's the only one of that scale that I have. I can't buy many of these guys that are that scale. They're just that I can't afford that many of
Yeah.
those.
They are pricey. I was looking, so I was trying to decide what my next order was going to be, and I was looking at the horses and the knights. I was like, oh, that's a lot for two set. And then I saw that guy, and I saw the Cosmic Legions has one big dude too, and it's usually 80 or 90 US for a larger one, right?
Yeah,
To start.
I think they're 75 at this scale. This is the
There you
ogre
go.
scale, and then the troll scale is the next one up, and they're like at least another half this big. Um,
Yeah. So
Todd's in
one
the
thing I
house.
did do
What's
is
up,
I
son?
pre-ordered also through BBTS, which will be interesting because I'll fall subject to that tariff. We'll call it what it is, that tariff rape coming up. Um, I ordered the extra headset for the female Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions as well. So that's like a page they take from the Vala book and do cool too, is like these new hand options packs. So change up the line because the bucks are pretty generic, but I didn't need to
Yeah.
be full screen. Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you hold it up in front of the camera. So,
Well,
I'm gonna stop my camera real quick because if I don't,
oh,
you'll see my armpit.
oh, that should have
So,
left me dancing.
should have.
Better dancing. Right. Doing
Hang
my
on, do
little
that
cookie
again.
dance. I'll do my
Do a
little
little
cookie
dance.
dance. I'm still
Do a little
fucking bleeding
dance.
from that bow. This is
So
how
I
Canadians
grabbed.
salute each other.
So you were showing her. So I've got this chick. This is one purple elf picked up. She really liked her. Balula.
Oh yeah. I do want to get that one too. That's one of the big bads.
This is an awesome
Which one
figure.
is she? What's her name again? She's on the back.
Balula.
Balula?
Belula, yeah,
Oh no,
something like man, I can't
maybe
their
I've got.
names, like, I love these things, but, like, I asked one of the Four Horsemen guys about the names of one of them, and he couldn't even remember which one I was talking about, but
Yeah.
so she's awesome, and she comes with, a, two-headed goat dog skeleton with a snake tail.
It's from Australia for sure.
Yeah, right. This is the thing that's watching shark eyes from the woods right
Yeah.
now.
And he's
So
like,
I
I was
mean,
thinking
just
one of those.
so this kind of crazy shit right here. This is what I
Oh
really
my
like about them,
god.
man.
That is
Yeah,
sexy. I never, oh my god, that snake skull is the shit as a tail. Oh my god.
yeah. I mean, all the vertebrae are
Yeah.
individual.
Does it so show the lower jaw again? Does it show the unhinged split? It does too, doesn't it? That's a three
It,
section jaw.
the jaws don't articulate on them.
No, it's just
Oh,
still they're really paying attention to them,
oh
right?
yeah,
Like the lower jawbone on a lot of skeletons and a lot of toy lines can be phoned in pretty easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
They are
No,
not
that's
on
great.
these guys, so not a bit. Crimson Cobra Commander says Warriors of the Kingdom is also very expensive. I don't think the
Yeah.
AWOC figures are too bad. I think they're really reasonable. I only have one. They are more expensive, but they're a smaller independent toy line too. So Shark Eyes says we actually ride those to work.
I read
We just
that. I
ride them
read
to
that.
work. No.
Yeah.
Let's see and start that. Also, a punk with toys has joined us. What up, whores? What's going on? Horrence.
He called us whores this time. Okay, listen, man, it was bad enough when we were fools, but now we're whores.
Yeah, we've
So-
devolved.
No, well, I
We
mean, we haven't earned our way to shills, so this fucking
no,
whore that sucks.
yeah. We're a long way away from shill status. So
God damn.
she also comes with this crow. So it is a bird cage that opens up and it has another snake skull in it on a piece of driftwood.
That's fucking beautiful. Why would I ever want that?
I mean, it's amazing. So yeah, Punk is here. So he's got the Knights. He's got the reviews out on the Knights, and I got to see
Yes.
them. They had the whole wave down there. I got to see the Knights in person. Damn, they look good. Those
That's just
Knights look
it.
so good.
Now that you're like, now that I bought four, I've got four coming all together. So, like, I'm in, I'm interested. Okay, now, of course, the prices are going to go up. Thank you, BBTS. Appreciate that. I can't pick a lane. I can't decide if I like the knights more than the skeletons or if I like, the mages and the elves that are coming or I love the new Nordic shit. I'm just like, why did I do this? Why did I get involved in this Four Horsemen? This is the apocalypse.
Yeah, they are, man. It's so hard to stick to one thing. Like, I really, really, really like the Knights. I am going to need some Knights before it is said and done. I'm going to have some Knights before the end of next year. I'm going to have some Knights.
Yeah, I bought this because the barbarian's on the way. And I was like, he has to be fighting somebody. So I wanted a skeleton, but then it's like, oh man, wouldn't he look cool fighting a knight?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Shit.
100%.
Well,
100%.
thank you, brain.
Yeah, that's right. It's like those memes. You go to bed at night and your brain, are you sleeping? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's people on the other side of the world having sex right now, and then you're wide awake. It's one of those memes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Do I know them?
yeah, yeah. Do they have a camera on? Um, Dave's Dungeons says he's getting that right now. Go to Hella Dope. She's in stock over there.
Yeah.
And let's
Not order
see.
her yet.
Lawrence says everyone needs a Mythic Legion horse, and he is correct.
Don't put that hoodoo on me.
Dave, while
This
you're over
tariff
there,
war.
order Cannabis while you're over there.
Yeah. So
Dave,
Pete, this
order
is
the
good. What's gonna happen now is with tariffs are gonna go skyrocketing, and people go, everyone needs a Mythic Legion dragon.
yeah.
Fuck off.
So you talking
That is
about the
glorious.
this thing, man.
Yeah.
So you talking about the lower jaw on stuff, like
Yeah.
but I wanted this thing, and I just happened to, he had it at Yojo Depot, and we traded, and I think I showed it last time I had it, but their horses are really good.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's just it. If I buy a knight, I'm going to be inclined to want the horse.
yeah,
Unless I
you
can do
gotta. I
the
mean,
yeah. The
you
Black
gotta have
Templar
the
is the
horse.
only one where I'm like, I maybe don't need the horse. If I get a Black Templar, they're
Yeah,
stoic,
I
but
I've almost bought that dude a bunch of times. I love
yeah,
that
it's something.
Black
Mm,
Templar dude.
mm,
Roman Graham says pick up some of the third party figs. Patriot Studios is killing it with Resident Evil. Those Resident Evil
mm,
figures look great.
mhm.
So Triple D says if I'm a whore, does that make Lawrence my pimp? I use his discount codes everywhere.
Mm.
Let's see. Point says Four Horsemen prices should stay the same. They're the ones that set the prices, not the sellers. Correct, but they may have to raise their prices due to the tariffs, which will raise them for their retailers too. If they do, I mean, maybe they
Mhm.
won't, but we don't know. So, but
They'll
yeah,
take measures to protect themselves no matter
yeah.
what, right?
Well, they
You were,
like of all of the companies that we talk about, and like we're talking about them, we're talking about Hasbro. They're the ones
Mhm.
that I would see trying to absorb as much of it as they can, like actual manufacturers, because they care about their fans, like big
Well,
time. They care about their fans.
It's it is massively shown, right? Like you were talking about a
Yeah,
figure that on average is probably what 50% more than your average classified single, maybe, right? 50% for the base model of a cosmic or does that sound right?
depends retail wise. They're about 35 to 40 for a base figure.
Right. So a bit more than Joe by about 10 to 20 bucks, right? For the same kind of loadout and idea. But looking at how the money is spent, that the quality of the secondary
Yeah.
goods that come with these, the quality of the paint, the sensibility of what they do add versus what they don't add. Not I don't see a lot of useless anything that's ever included in this. But this was all the evidence I needed. Nobody went out of their way to build you a fancy compartmental trifold origami piece of shit box with a go nowhere QR code and all that. They got it all done like this, right? And there's
Yep.
even story on the back, wave on the back, and this is showing me that what I'm paying for my figure isn't going towards throwaway packaging at all.
Yep.
So
Yep. And you have your
Hasbro can't say the same.
file
Yeah.
card on the side of the packaging
Yeah,
on the
good use of everything
yep,
that
there
they
you go.
bring up. Cosmic
Yep.
Legion's not much different. I mean, it is a different kind of. We're familiar with this box again, but I mean, like they made use of their background to give you some funky style art to put some personality in their shit, and they kept it relevant to the line on the way they used the box for the fans to get excited about, not for
Yep.
lawyers to say you're covered, right? Like
Yep.
it's different.
So you see where the money goes.
Yeah,
And
100%.
so as far as prices, like they out of everybody, they don't want to lose people that they like having follow and buy their product, though they're not a huge company. So
Mhm.
hopefully we won't see theirs go up too much. Mr. Madgus is here. Is that horse on crack? Stay off that crack, man. Oh, let's see. Triple C's got a big haul coming next week, and Punk says name figures are about $50. I think
Sure.
that's right. I think that's what Maxilius was. Um,
Yeah.
he's probably my favorite that I've gotten in a while. Is that the Grim Reaper dude?
But
I was really
it
looking forward to that figure.
it doesn't look like, like, I mean, just like any other toy line, it's not like these guys don't use reuse of things. I've seen repetition in some of the figures over and over again with some of these as well. But when they're reusing something, it just seems like they're giving it a lot more thought consideration than, well, it's because all three of these accessories came as a part of that package, so that's why you have a knife with no sheath, a pistol with no holster. Like, it doesn't seem like Mythic Legions falls subject to that based off of what I've seen.
Yeah,
Mm.
they're just. I mean, they're just great. I mean, like Punk said, everybody should have maybe not a horse. Wouldn't hurt if you got a
Yeah.
horse, but everybody should pick up at least one of the base figures, one of the builder figures anyway. There's a couple other skeletons from the Necronominus from this new wave that we're showing that I don't have. I want to get them at some point, but they're pricey. I have to pick and choose. I'm still got Joes that I'm
Yeah.
wanting. Joes are the main thing, so I got to pick and choose on the legions. But got those. She
Yeah, four
she she
horsemen are what would you consider them? Like the luxury item of a luxury hobby, right? Like you don't buy tons of them, you treat yourself. But
yeah. So that's the
yeah, those are cool.
graveyard skeleton guys. This is one I recommend people get if you want something that you can put in just about any line. The
Mhm.
graveyard skeletons pack, because you get four of the new body type skeletons for $100, and you ain't gonna beat that anywhere. You can't, and you get so much. This bag is all the extra hands and stuff that goes with those
Yeah.
guys.
Will
So
those skeletons fit in the new snake armor?
I bet they will,
There you go.
but because you can just about ball them up.
Yeah.
I bet they will. I tell you what, they don't fit in worth the shit though.
Does it go vroom vroom vroom?
They don't fit very well in there.
Oh, I mean, you don't get skinnier than a skeleton proceeding, right? Like,
But it is like a 6.5-inch scale, so
mm,
he's a little tall. He's a tall guy, so I still got to work on that some more. That's what I was doing the other night last week after our stream ended and we were all backstage and I was over here fucking with something. That's what I was trying to do, was put that skeleton in that van for like
stands to make
30
sense.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
Like 30
sense.
minutes. So you got those guys and a couple Marvel Legends you really wasn't too worried about showing or whatever. So
They're just back catalog stuff. It'll just show up in the back of a video somewhere. Marvel
well,
Legends is just too abundant, man. Like they are everywhere. I'll review the new ones, but not go back through the old ones. There's just too many.
they really, really are. They're everywhere. I had no idea. Like I knew they were out there, but I didn't really pay that much attention to them, especially before I started collecting classified and really jump started getting back into collecting again and started paying attention to all the other stuff like in detail. I had no idea there were so
Mhm.
many, so many Marvel Legends. But what's
Oh, yeah.
funny is as you talk about back catalog, there was one in the back catalog that I really, really wanted once I discovered that they made it, because I thought there was absolutely no way that they would make this figure. But I think when I first found out that it was actually made was on Legend Series stream, because he has it and he was showing it. And I said, "Is that a custom?" And he's like, "No, is like this is they put this figure out a few years ago." So I started hunting it down, and I could find it online, but I was trying to find it. It's one of them ones I wanted to hunt down in the wild. Not super, super expensive, but had to have this figure. I've been looking for it for months. And my buddy Crusty Old Crow here
Oh, it's this
found
one.
it
I
at
thought
a
you were
toy
talking about this
show.
one.
Found it at a toy show several weeks ago up there in Canada and picked it up for me. It is the Marvel Legends Supervillains Jigsaw. I had no idea that they made this figure, and apparently it was a Walgreens exclusive, which would have been the last place I would have been trying to hunt figures down. So, I'm a big Punisher fan. I finally broke down and got a Punisher Legend behind the wheel of this van. And when I found out that they actually made a bona fide Hasbro Jigsaw, I started looking everywhere for it, and this figure come out in 2022. So this guy come out, he actually come out before I started collecting classified. So I had no idea this figure had come and gone before I was like, all right, I need to look at Marvel Legends and maybe pick up one of them for a few of the characters. So
Mm.
Crow, I want to thank you again for picking this dude up for me.
Oh, it was
Um,
my pleasure, man. It was actually really funny. I think I told you the story, but I'll tell them really quick. I was leaving the convention utterly defeated because I had seen the thing, couldn't remember which booth. And if you've been to these conventions, you've got a 1 in 400 chance of getting it right and remembering exactly which booth
yeah.
you saw that at, right? And I was leaving and it was the last booth, and I just stopped there, I think just to sort through what I was buying, and I'd seen a Mr. Fantastic on the guy's shelf, and it was like one of 3 Marvel Legends he had, and I was like, "Oh," and he goes, "Why you look disappointed?" I was like, "Yeah, I forgot where I'd seen this figure for my buddy." He's like, "Describe the figure." I was like, "It's this." And he hands it to me. I was like, "It was you all along, the last booth." I spent the whole like afternoon looking. It's the last booth. I was like, "Oh, you." Shit, yes, that makes sense.
Oh,
But
yeah, I appreciate you going back because you went back. There was a couple things that you went back for, and that looking for that was for me was one of them. So thanks again because I mean you could find him online, but I surely somewhere to get a show or a toy store or somewhere is going to have this figure. Yojo Devo didn't have him. Outer Limits
yeah.
Comics didn't have him. So he's kind of obscure, I guess.
You didn't need much of a reason to send me back to a toy convention the
This
second
is
day.
true.
It's like,
So
no.
I've been looking for this figure, like trying to find it in person for 6 months anyway, probably.
Mm.
And nobody ever had it. And I'd asked you about it, and you're like, I just saw that figure. And I'm like, oh, damn. It's like, well, I'm going to go back. I'll go back tomorrow and look for it. So you went back, you got him, you let me know that you'd picked him up for me. Never seen it in person, mind you. So we went to Toylanta and we're looking
Yeah.
around, like you said, 400 booths, and we're
Mm.
looking for the Marvel Legends because I was looking for one for you.
Yeah,
And
I'm trying to find
sitting there,
Guardian.
right there, hanging right in the front of the peg was this guy. And I was like, holy shit. Like, that's the figure. And she's like, which one? And I picked him up. I said, Jigsaw. I was like, here he is, finally. She's like, isn't that the one Crow said? You said Crow picked up? I said, yeah, Crow's sending it to me, so I didn't buy it.
Yeah,
But that
I
was the
wanted
first time I'd seen it in person.
I wanted to fuck with you so bad after that. Like once you got back, just let you know, like tell me you bought that jigsaw, right? Because I found a guy who traded me this for this.
I got this Mythic Legion for a Jigsaw. So,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, Mr. Madgus says, don't wait until 3 Star and Crow turn into skeletons. Smash that like. It's gonna be a while.
Appreciate it.
I'm not gonna turn into a skeleton quickly.
No,
Will be a slow process.
I
Amazingly,
can.
Shark Eyes says amazingly he was still available on BBTS in recent months. I don't doubt it, but I mean Amazon had him and eBay. I could find him on eBay all day long. There's probably 15 or 20 on eBay. I just wanted to find it's one of them ones you want to hunt down.
Yeah, it's because also when you see them on those eBay prices, you know that it's not the right price. You're like, no, if I found
Yeah,
this in the wild, it'd be different, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
He wasn't too expensive. I mean, for being a couple years old and being, I guess, a store exclusive to Walgreens of all places, he really wasn't that hard to hunt down. I can't imagine Jigsaw was
Oh,
all that popular.
it was cheap as hell, actually. I think it was 40
Yeah,
Canadian for him, something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Fan is in the house. Joe Fan 84. What's going on, buddy?
Mhm.
So I got him. I'm not going. I ain't gonna go through everything in the last couple weeks. I got the ATL guy, and I got the Monster Force dude from Toylanta. You guys have seen those. So another one I'm excited about. I just got today. Another reason I went ahead and wore my poser shirt. I just got this guy today, and I didn't tell you about this. So this is what came today.
Who that? Oh, DJ finally.
Yeah, snag
Yes.
DJ.
I
So
like DJ.
they had him and they had Guile at Toylanta, and we got Guile, and I didn't get DJ because he was $35, and I was like,
Hmm.
I'm sure
Oh,
he's worth it, but I know I can get him on Amazon for retail. Like he's not hard to get. So I passed, and he's actually on sale on Amazon right now for like 2088.
that's
So
actually really good.
yeah, and
2088?
2088. Ken is too, and I don't have Ken yet, but I didn't order red Gee Ken. I don't have Ken, so I'm probably
Yeah.
going to order Ken if he's still on sale Friday. I'm going to get paid. um,
So
but I did get
20,
DJ because go ahead.
I was just gonna say 2088 is pretty good because DJ's a little bit larger of a buck.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was all.
Okay. Um, I'm just reading through the comments here. So DJ was one that I was probably going to pick up because I like the style. I like the way he
Mhm.
looks. I don't think I ever used DJ when the times that I played Street Fighter, so I
Mhm.
really have no attachment to the character. But I was talking to Matson, and I was kind of telling him, some of my favorites that I've picked up out of the line, and I told him I didn't have DJ, and I was kind of on the fence. And he was like, dude, you want to talk about posability? You need to get DJ. DJ's great.
Yeah, he's got
So,
great balance.
yeah.
I think that's
So,
what I mean by maybe he's not the biggest of the line, but he seems heavier and more stable.
yeah.
Mm.
Um, like Guile, I love Guile, but I have a easier time getting Guile to pose on one foot than two.
Oh yeah, yeah. You were telling me about the balance issue with Guile. I just haven't touched mine. Like mine are up on the shelf now. But
See, the mine
let's
are
face
all
it.
right here because I don't have a shelf to put them on right now.
Yeah, yeah. I just think the fun ones are always going to be ones like Chun Li, Fei Long, Dalzim. I think are the fun
Yeah.
ones to pose, right?
Doll
But they
seems
all look
great.
great. Yeah.
Whom you also sent me.
Well,
Doll seems
I'm a
great.
shill for Jada. You've caught me.
Yeah,
Jada
that's right.
shill.
Caught you shilling. So I'm
Nobody told
hoping
them.
I'm gonna try to go by Yojo Depot on Friday. I'm hoping he'll have Blanca and Sagat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Haven't seen
because
them out here yet.
they're still not everywhere I check. They're still pre-order, but I know it's supposed to be anytime in April that they're gonna be showing up. And if they have them both, like I'm gonna get Blanca. Sagat, I want Blanca more than Sagat. And these guys are going up. So or at least those are because they're bigger figures. So here's
Mm,
something I wanted to ask you in the chat that are more familiar with Street Fighter than I am. So Sagat, so he was a boss. Is he a much bigger figure or much bigger
yes.
guy to warrant that extra $5?
Yeah, he'll be a taller figure. Like
Okay.
he'll be taller. I think they even addressed it in I want to say it was Toy Mood, but I'm not sure. But I think they addressed he's going to be a taller buck for sure.
Well, I know Travis has a video on both of them where he got them or got access to them, but I haven't watched it. So I know he's
Mm.
got a video out, but
Yeah,
that's
I
what I was
wasn't.
wondering.
I was wondering if it was Travis Moody too, but every time I say that, Punk hits the dislike button for some reason. So I wasn't
Yeah,
gonna bring it up.
thumbs down the stream now.
Thumbs
Travis
down.
fucking Moody.
Fucking doesn't talk to me for a week.
Let me bring up Travis. Let's see. And Crimson Cobra Commander put him with his Joe. So like, no, I can't. I can't. Maybe for some pictures, but not on the shelf. I can't do it. But that's just me.
My
Although,
potatoes can't touch my meat.
no, we gotta have them segregated compartment plates for them. Although I can make it work in my head because they did mix Street Fighter 2 and G.I. Joe, so I
They
might be able to
did.
get over that hurdle. So
It's the same
uh,
reason you can mix Marvel and G.I. Joe because they all existed in the same world at some point in their
that's
franchise
right.
history.
That's right. Bobby Wald says anyone with an eye patch is a boss. So my boss had a
Mhm.
something in his eye and he scratched his eye. And this happened yesterday, and I talked to him at the end of the day, and he was telling me about it. It's not super serious, but he's got to put eye drops and shit in it, and whatever, and antibiotics and stuff. So he
Sure.
was telling me about it, and I was like, "Well, damn, dude, I hope your eye gets better." And we were about done. We were through talking. I was like, "Hey, I said, do you have an eye patch? They give you an eye patch?" He was like, "No, I don't have to wear one, but I got to go back in 2 weeks, and if it's not healed enough, they're gonna give me one then. So I'm hoping I don't have to have an eye patch." I was like, "All right, look," I said, if they do give you an eye patch," he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Put a little skull and crossbones on it, like One Eyed Willie." He's like, "All right, man, I ain't talking to you no more. Bye." um, let's see, Joe Fan. Yeah, Street Fighter was a little before your time, Joe Fan. Probably. I'm sure they probably still
Yeah.
had it at the arcade, but that would be like when I went and they had Galaga. So,
So
trying
I
to think.
remember, I think I was just getting ready for college when Street Fighter the movie, like not the John Claude Van Damme, but the hit animated film
Mm-hmm.
that they did came out. And I just remember the cringe factor of addressing it now, and I think I did it in one of my videos. It was probably Chun Li. Of so you're playing this game called Street Fighter, and you're mastering all these moves, and it's great these characters, and they have this cool little violent espionage movie, and now you're seeing Chun Li in the shower, right? The
Yeah,
Chun Li in the shower, and it immediately transitions for those horny little bastards that now need to be violent. She goes and fights Vega in her underwear, right? And it was like I can never unsee that, right? So I'm like, what other variants do we get with Jada?
like that Bikini Baroness figure we're all hoping we get. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
that's another one. What about Vega? Is he a
Vegas,
much
yeah.
larger character?
Oh, as far as larger goes, I
Yeah.
don't think he should be. I think he should be Ryu and Fei Long
Okay.
sized, but
Because the
he'll have the
next ones,
claw and tail.
yeah, the next ones are supposed to be Vega and E Honda. I think Vega's already. You can find listings for Vega. He's not live anywhere where you can order him, but he
Yeah,
shows up in some places. He's on
yeah.
AliExpress, but you can't order him.
So
Not
my
even for
my
pre-order.
the guy that handles my pre-orders at GameStop, he just autos orders everything for me
Yeah,
for classified and for Jada, and he was telling me like Vega went up, and I ordered it. I was like, okay, cool, right? And then we
nice.
never heard about it ever again. So it
Yeah, it's
did
almost
appear at
like
some point.
yeah, they put it up and then pulled it. It looks like
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, they
from
pulled
the
that one.
from the list. And yeah, I was going to ask about that. And because what Mr. Madgus says right here, seen Street Fighters today in Walmart, Chun Li, Fei Long, and Ryu. Didn't grab any. They were $30. So the one
Mhm.
Walmart that I've actually seen them in, they're $30 there for the regular
So
figures.
let's put that. Okay, $30 US, and I think that's on par with our. We're actually paying less in Canada because on average they're 29.99 out here in Canada, and they'll go up as high as 34.99. So at max for you guys, they should be 25, 29 and under, right?
Yeah.
But again, just as like what we were saying with the Four Horsemen stuff, the allocation of pieces isn't wasteful. They're useful, they're insightful, and they make a really solid figure that can be associated with how you remember that character from the video game very easily with the product they
Yeah.
present. I would say it's worth that much money at the furthest northern extreme.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're worth it for the quality and what you get. If I didn't have one in hand, you know,
Mhm.
I'd be like, there's no way those figures are worth $30. But after having some of them, yeah, that's probably the top of the scale for me for
Yeah.
like a a Chun Li or something. But I do think they're worth it. Where some of these Joes that I get, they're not worth $25.
No, and that's just it. You know, eventually when the Joe wave comes out, we'll all go back to talking about Joe this, Joe that, Joe the other thing, right? So this is kind of a weird terrain for us to spend this much time talking about other lines and nothing about classified. But you've paid out the ass before for Joe products that have made absolutely no sense.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I taking a chance on a new line from time to time should be par for the course when another line takes its time getting to waves and releases. If you want that itch scratched.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's like here. I don't think all the time we have to talk all Joe stuff. We can talk
Hmm.
about some other stuff once in a while. It's always going to come back to Joe stuff. We got a bunch of it that we can go through. Um,
Hmm.
so I was going to show this though. Um, Talked about it earlier, so it's been referenced a time or two. I hadn't like gone around and gone around like spreading the gospel or anything. So the Bather, the dragon, the mythic legions. We're talking some mythic legions. Um,
Hmm.
thing. I
Hmm.
keep bringing him up, man. Got to see the thing in person. Thing is absolutely freaking amazing. So I just throw some pictures up if anybody somehow didn't see these. So this was one that they took for me inside the glass, inside the case down there.
Hmm.
Things just absolutely. This was part of the decision that we went ahead and went down there to pick it to the show was when they said they were going to have this.
Yeah.
So thing it closed on Sunday night with almost 5,000 backers. Their ultimate target goal was 4, and it was I think it was six short of hitting 5,000. I don't know
Good
why they
God.
didn't just leave it up and just let people order it and get the orders up to 5, but they didn't. So these are the standard wings that are on it. Joe Fan says wing. Oh no, he's talking about Gundam. Never mind. I just saw wing.
Hmm.
Um, they did reach the goal, Mr. Magus. They hit it a few days before it ended. 4,000 was the ultimate, was what they were trying to get to unlock everything. They unveiled a figure for if it hit 4,000, and dude looks like a medieval knight Destro. I don't have a picture of him here. These are just all ones from the show. So this is inside the glass case. They let me lean over and put my phone in there for this.
I love the flaming skeleton that it looks like the dragon just fragged him.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
was
Like,
actually my favorite figure. This dude, this is the one. Whoop, go back. This is the guy that comes with the dragon. Hold on, let me get all the way back out of here. There, okay, this picture. So this is the guy that comes with Bathier, like just ordering just the dragon. This is the guy that comes with him, and he's got
mhm.
a bunch of other shit that was unlocks for stretch goals, and it got there. But this dude, man, this is my favorite figure. Like a translucent, like he's made out of fire.
Yeah, I think about You know, when like, if nobody watched Game of Thrones, and I apologize, but when Daenerys Targaryen started really ripping into the Seven Kingdoms with the dragons, and those knights surrendered, and she burned those knights down like after they surrendered, and like bent
Yeah,
the knee kind of
just
apologetically or whatever. That's all I think of when I see that guy. Like, that is like 0.3 seconds away from turning into ash.
yeah, melted the shit out of them dudes. So I know
Yeah.
exactly what you are talking about.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dracarys.
Dracarys. So this is
Hmm.
the flame head. So they demonstrated this. The tongue pops out, and then it's got a peg that you put in where the tongue is, and that's how the flame effect works. This thing right here, he comes with extra forward claws. He's got a flat and a grippy, so you can put a figure in his hand.
Yes.
Um, I will. I just can't say enough about how awesome this damn thing is.
I was curious if a figure, or like a good enough portion of the figure, would fit into its open mouth, because I saw that the hand could grip a figure. Like, yeah, this thing is glorious.
So on this head, yeah, I don't think the jaw is hinged. I actually don't remember, but you can definitely fit a
Yeah.
figure in that.
I don't think it was hinged. I think it was just one, yeah, one set, because they needed to get the fire effect in there, right? So, but
Yeah.
still, it's open wide enough. I think that pretty good resemblance of biting someone's upper torso off, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can definitely get a figure in there, at least with this head sculpt. You can definitely get a figure
Yeah.
in there.
And I
So
can't wait to see Gun Bunny do a Tiger Force version of this.
Tiger Force Dragon. So
Yeah.
his sword looks like a carrot stick. So Bobby, we're getting ready to get to that. And Bobby says, I heard you want a dragon. We are
Yeah.
gonna get to that.
I'll fight you with a carrot stick sword if you bring bacon swords from Nemesis Enforcer. Have a
oh
good meal for
shit.
you.
And the carrots will cancel out the bacon.
Yeah.
Um, so on Just Shelve It on Sunday night. It's a channel they
Mm.
do a lot of mythic stuff. I've watched them before. I wasn't subscribed, but I watched them before. So there was a 24-hour stream for this celebrating the end of the campaign for Baythier closing. A bunch of different channels rotated and did 2 or 3 hour blocks. Oz's Clubhouse on Saturday night, they were talking about it, and I listened to a good deal of it on Saturday night, and then it rotated throughout Sunday, kind of like what Punk did, except it was all on different channels instead of all on his. All they just moved over. All right, next 3 hour block is going over to channel X, and everybody went over there. So the close for the campaign was on Just Shelve It. And as I mentioned, Pop Blender moved his stream to Sunday night. So I was going to watch Pop Blender, and then I was going to tune in over there and dual stream and watch the end of their stream for the end of the campaign, because I knew that they would probably have some of the Four Horsemen guys on there and would give final numbers like before they're published anywhere. And I wanted to see what it wound up at. But I got a message about 20 till 9, somewhere along in there, my time. It ended, I'm just going off of my time. It ended at 10. About 20 till 9, I got a message like, are you watching this? And I was like, no, I'm going to tune into it later. He's like, they're giving away a dragon. I was like, oh shit, are you kidding? He's like, no, dude. So, of course, I went over there and started watching it, and I figured out what was going on. So, on that channel, like, they all know the Four Horsemen. They're all tight and they're all affiliated. Those guys come on those Mythic fans channels with them all the time. So what had happened was the guys on Just Shelve It were going to pull their money together and buy a dragon to give away on the channel live, because it's going on as the campaign's ending. So they're going to buy it on Store Horseman get it secured, and then give it away to somebody in the chat, was what the plan was. I was like, oh, sweet. So I started watching. Well, when I watched and tuned in, they kept getting super chats. I was trying to figure out what was going on. I was trying to figure out how to enter the contest and all this stuff. So asking questions, listening to them, listening to the chat, I figured out what had happened. So they said they were going to do that. And one of those guys, and I don't know who, messaged Four Horsemen. So they start kind of rotating in and showing up in the stream. And this is right before I got there. And they said they were going to donate one to give away on the channel. Same thing. They were going to have two to give away. So
incredible.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. So
Really
what happened,
generous, yeah.
right before I got there, the idea had come up that what if the chat could fund these? So I've never seen anything like this for something like this, and it was awesome to be part of watching it. Was people were sending in super chats to get the pool up to fund them being able to buy these things to give away right there. They were tallying the money, figuring out what it was going to take. This was all live. It looked like a slot machine with the super chat ticker with them coming in. And so what was going on was people were trying to get as much money in as they could so they could buy as much as they could, because they were giving them away to fans of Legions and, you know, their viewers. Didn't matter if you were a subscriber, you didn't have to be a channel member, you know, nothing like that. Like, just for the people that were there to celebrate the end of this campaign with them, because nothing like it has ever been made. So the only thing to scale that has ever been made that's similar is the flag, as far as scale to what goes with it. Terradrome, maybe the Defiant, but definitely the flag. So I go in, and what they're doing is they're doing they're going to give the keyword, the code word. They're doing the hashtag random generator, you know, hashtag fire. Type it in, whatever app does that, logs all the entries. Then they use a randomizer to, you know, pick the winner.
Yeah.
So as I'm watching it, I'm figuring out that's how they're doing it. So I was there for them doing this. So they give one away, and person that won it was in there, and it was the one from the Four Horsemen. It was a all in, you know, the fire and everything with it was the one they give away. And everybody's like, hell yeah. Nobody's like, oh shit, I didn't win. Everybody's like, you know, congratulations, awesome. You know, that's awesome that this happened.
Yeah.
So then this happened.
Stepped away, and we will go ahead and spin this first one. Well, this is actually the second one, because the first one was given away by the studio. But here we go. Bay it forward. We got 510 people in here. We're getting ready to spin this. My understanding, this is for an all-in. Now, this does not include the Carver custom base that we gave away on the first one. But this is the Dragon, the Fire set, the Wing set, all of the stretch goals. And here we go.
Good luck.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
How does this end? I wonder how this ends.
Three star draw.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I got to clap right now.
Yeah, make sure you partner up with 1/6 Shooter on Instagram, and we will get all that information taken. It's going to be a little bit before these things are ready, but once they're ready, we'll either schedule a pickup, or we can work with you on, you know, getting it shipped to you and stuff. So,
Wow. Man, that's so I gotta ask, like, how much stuff in your immediate bubble got flipped over when your name got pulled up?
I because I was sitting here and I was kind of going back and forth. Pop was on at that point, and I was listening to him, and I was listening to him on my phone. And when they started the drawing, I muted that, and I was sitting there, and I'm kind of looking back and forth, and and I was watching it, and I saw it come up, and I'm like, oh, no way, like that can't be right. And like, oh my God, it's like I cannot believe that. I mean, it's still sinking in. Like it's still unbelievable to me that happened. And I haven't, like, I went in Pop Blender's chat. I was like, man, I just want a dragon. And so I haven't like gone around spreading it around. I said it in, in his chat and whatever, but like it's still, I beat 509 people, and like I don't want to like brag about it, but shit like that never happens to me. So I'm really thankful to those guys and the chat that was in there. And I did send in a super chat. Purple Elf was in there. She sent in a super chat. So like everybody that was part of that, man, was freaking awesome. Just being there for it was amazing. So I can't say thank you to those guys and their chat and that community enough, but that's the kind of stuff they do, going back to Four Horsemen and caring about their customers and their fans. Like that's the kind of shit
100%.
they do.
So while you're that, I want to let people know in the chat that Darren's a very humble guy, and he doesn't really speak very much about how he expressed his excitement. At Sunday night, 9:20 p.m. my time, which meant it was 8:20 reasonable. Darren did give me a heads up about this contest. He sent me the link to everything, and he explained. He said they're going to be giving away dragons. They've been collecting super chats to buy as many as they can. He didn't take the time for punctuation. He was just like, "You need to know this," and I knew, right? And I was like, kind of in the middle of watching something, so I went to bed. And I woke up to something sent at 11:43 p.m. and it's all caps. And I fucking won one of them! Exclamation marks. Right? Like I just pictured you mashing the keyboard and send all, right? But congrats again, man. Like that is no small prize. That is probably, everybody said the Dragonfly would be the toy of the year last year. This thing would knock the thing out of the air easily, right? So
yeah, it's amazing. Like I'm still in awe that happened. I can't believe that it happened.
yeah.
I'm Crimson Cobra Commander. How big is it? I'm trying to find the dimensions on it. It's
Pretzel's got a
in there.
playmate.
Yeah, he's he's the size of my dog.
Yeah.
All right,
So your crystal ball thing. If this is a karma trade-off, I think you need to be okay with this. You know what I mean? If
yeah,
Walmart screwed you, but Dragon.
I did tell somebody else about it because I've lost 2 raffles. One was for a ramen racer, and one was for a sealed HasLab Hiss that I bought a raffle ticket for, and I was the runner up. Like I was the second to last. Like I lost to the winner twice on those. So you're right. But what I messaged that person and I said, I think my luck finally changed as far as raffle stuff. And he watched, I sent him the link and he watched it and he was like, yeah, I'd say you probably used up all of your luck for the rest of the year on that. And
Hells yeah.
Mr. Magnus says, I should have went out and played the lottery to keep that luck going. Monday I did. And no dice. Didn't win shit. So Rafe Mason's here.
You guys let us know in the chat. Maybe you won something and it was a big thing, right? I've had the weird luck when I was in Edmonton. I would win everything and could collect nothing. It seemed like, man, like I free pizzas. I'd win the shit out of free pizzas on the radio contests all the time. Like name that song or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember the maddest one was if anybody knows the band The Pixies and Frank Black, the lead singer of Pixies, they were in Edmonton. And I've been a fan of that band since like day one high school. And sure enough, I win the contest for the tickets. And I find out when the concert is, and it's the day before I'm supposed to go to Afghanistan, and I wasn't allowed to go. I tried to
Couldn't
go, I
go.
wasn't allowed to go. I was so
Oh
mad.
man, it
Yeah.
sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's definitely the biggest thing. I've won like movie tickets on the radio and things, you know. But like
And- Yeah.
I've never had that kind of luck with anything like that. So again, you know, if they ever go back and watch this live, you know, thank you to those guys and their chat and their community
Mhm.
for making that happen for me. And they also gave away 2 more after the one that
Yeah. And congrats to those people as well. You know, it's easy to be jealous, but you just got to be impressed.
So for some reason I can't find the picture right now. Crimson Cobra Commander. It is about, I think it's 28 inches tall, and with the tail curled up, it's 31 or 33 inches, and then you can stretch the tail out, and it makes it like 38 or 39. Well, I think they said it weighs 31 pounds. I'm trying to remember everything. So I've got my Toylanta video that I've got. I've got some video in there that I shot talking to them, and they're showing us stuff. And one of the add-on wings for it, they measured against one of the boxes that they've got, like their case boxes for their figures they had with them. And that box was 24 inches long, and the wing was 23. So
Damn.
yeah, it's freaking amazing. 22. Sorry, I got corrected. 22. Purple Elf corrected me. It's 22.
So the countdown's on, for you to change your backgrounds now.
There's no telling how many times that'll change before then. And he said, Crimson Cobra Commanders, when are you going to get it? It won't be till the end of next year. It's not due till middle to end of 2026 is the projected date for it. So, Wraith says, I won free pro boxing lessons from Roy Jones Jr. at a Christmas party 2 months before COVID and never got them. That sounds like the way my shit usually goes.
Hey, a free punch in the face. That sounds awesome. I'm a professional.
Yeah, right. You could win free tickets to get the shit beat out of you by a pro boxer.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Magnus, I won a lottery once in 5th grade for the classroom pet rabbit. My older brother's German Shepherd ate it.
So you want a dog
worse
toy
for the rabbit. It ended worse for the rabbit. All right. So I did want to talk about that. I've had a couple people ask about it, and I said I would run that video tonight.
Yeah.
The name of that channel is Just Shelve It. If you want to go check them out and give them a subscribe, Big Legion's content. So shout out to them. So yes,
Clearly
I
good
will.
People.
Yeah, the community, that community is awesome. It is not toxic as fuck like the Joe community is. It's really good people.
Fuck you, Darren. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The Joes were talking.
Make me bust a rap. Triple C, yeah, I'll be doing a review. I don't know where the hell I'm gonna do it, but I will figure it out. I got a year and a half to figure it out where.
Yeah.
So Crystal Ball shipping for some people tomorrow in the United States. Not shipping for me. So if you get yours, everybody, I'm glad. So I'm not gonna go into a big rigmarole. There's a video up. Walmart screwed my payment up on it. I got 3 emails, or I got 2 emails saying there was a problem with my payment and I needed to fix it, or my pre-order is going to get canceled. I did 2 chats. They told me there's nothing wrong with my payment. I got nothing to worry about. Then the next email I got said they canceled my order. So
no problem.
Yeah, no problem at all. We're just
No
not going to
problem,
give
buddy.
it to you.
think
Just
it
not
is.
gonna get C. So, needless to say, my crystal ball figures from Walmart that I ordered within the first 30 seconds of them going up got canceled. So there will be no early crystal ball review over here. So I know
But he
he is
knew that.
processing. Yeah. Yeah. He knew that. Crystal ball already knew that. And like, not
knew
going
that.
to 3 Stars house. Fuck that guy. He's probably gonna have a
Motherfucker.
problem with my ankles anyway. So
Heard he's a Dragon fan.
yeah, right. I mean, Brandon and Joe from Mythic Legion, that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So I know he's processing for some people. I hope everybody gets them. I don't
Yeah.
know. I still have no idea what their problem with my payment was. They don't know either. They have no idea.
Yeah,
So
it's not reassuring, right? Just a little bit of terror before everybody's supposed to be getting them, and that's a very believable email for people to get from Walmart because
Yep.
it's not like they haven't done it to others.
Yep, it has definitely happened quite a bit. Let's see. So these guys, these are previous pictures, but we'll run through them. We'll run through them real quick. We all know about this, so
We're gonna streak the quad on some new figs.
well, it's stuff that we already knows.
Yeah.
Going to be going up on Tuesday. And I don't have a whole bunch of these pictures, so they're kind of this is the folder left over from last week, so we've already kind of talked about them. So
That's fair.
next week, Claw, Blood, CC, and Monkey Wrench, and this guy, Snake Eyes V4 Homage. I got to figure out what version of Snake Eyes this actually is, because it is not V4. It's like V9 for classified. So these guys are supposed to be going up on Tuesday. I think the consensus is most everybody wants most of it. You got any final thoughts on these guys?
The quad surprised me how long they got around to getting to this, considering how long we've known about it. So glad they're finally pulling off the band-aid, but I think everybody's still kind of going, yeah, but Striker. So
yeah, I
I'll get
really
one of
thought,
everything.
like, we talked about it last week. I really thought we were going to get the claw before the snake armor, because we've known about this thing for like 6 months.
Yeah, and it's the red herring release approach, and I don't know if they mean to do it intentionally or not, but if they're doing it intentionally, it's weak. It's a weak approach to marketing. Expect this. Now we surprise you with that. It's like no one cares that much. Just show us proper.
Yeah. I dig the claw. I think we were all in agreement. Blood, he was a grail for you. He was a grail figure for a lot of people. Are you going to get this other blood?
I am.
Get the new
Yeah.
blood?
Yeah, there's enough new stuff reworked into there. It just looks so traditionally like the Cobra Island one, but they've done enough new things here that I'll definitely get it. Just probably won't be on the same shelf as the other one. That's about it.
See, I can't do that either. I'll have them both out maybe, but they can't be on the same shelf.
That's right.
I've explained my dilemma with that, because I don't like to have two versions of the same figure, like same shelf or cabinet. The only one I've hit a snag with is Falcon, because he's part of the command structure. So I have him with all of the Joe commanders, but I also have Night Force together on the shelf below him. So he's the only one that appears twice on that shelf.
So I will actually I remember I said we'll pause if I think of something about a character there that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
I think Blood was a wasted opportunity in the presentation format that it's in, because they're really not straying very far from the first iteration they've given. None of the kit is really that different, and none of the look is. But if you guys go back to what they were saying about how the Energon universe and other comic properties of G.I. Joe and the classified line would start to reflect each other, I feel like they're missing an opportunity with what was shown in the Duke series, I think it was, where Duke met Blood, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think we could have gotten a second head option with this. Maybe even two heads to give you a more animated style blood than the one that we all like from the Viper or Cobra Island, but also making a troop builder to allow him to have his bloodhounds, which he had in the Duke, because they were
Yeah.
using a very blood pattern buck, right? So I feel like they kind of missed an opportunity here to bump this up to a deluxe, but make it worth it, you know?
Yeah, I could see that. Do something to tie it into the Energon comics. Yeah.
Mhm.
For the Bloodhounds.
Another
Run
troop
back up.
builder in the line.
Yep. Joe Fan says he has no idea where the Rattlers are going to go. Same. Bobby said, I'm probably going to have the claw in hand before dial tone. That's some bullshit with dial tone, man.
I'm amazed that would be the figure that would create problems this year.
I am too. I would have thought Saw Viper, honestly, because he's a troop
Yeah.
builder.
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes.
The places that have seen this wave show up, Saw Vipers are hanging like fucking rotting fruit in the places that are actually getting this wave.
I like to think that's because all those people saw my review on Saw Viper and they agreed and they left it there.
Yeah, saw my review on him. Just
fine.
ripped it a new one.
Oh, you
He's
do
grown on
reviews
me.
too? Damn.
That's right. Go watch me, not him.
Son of a bitch.
Watch us both. Watch his first. I've still got a Saw Viper. I hadn't even opened yet. He's just sitting over there and just all lonely. He's all by himself. There's not even over here. There's not even another classified figure on that shelf. It's just one boxed Saw Viper sitting there beside the Ghostbusters.
Sounds like something that could have been trade bait if anyone had been interested.
I've already traded one.
Success.
That's a good point. Crimson Cobra Commander New Blood will fit in with the 788 team with their red. So yeah,
That's a good point too. Yeah, he does look good. The turd of a his tank. I will say that.
Need something to make them not suck. I know you like them. I
like them. I just remembering,
them.
you like Python Patrol, and
Yeah,
they're always ready. They're always ready for a good golf game. Those Python Patrol and their Argyle patterns. So
yeah.
go ahead, rip on 788.
I like the Range Viper and the Techno Viper. But, so here we got our Battle Armor Cobra Commander. This is the one I can't wait for. So this is out of everything that's announced so far. He's probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. I think it looks great. He comes with a little Serpentor there, a little Serpenter.
I'm appreciating the animals as much as I hate what I paid to get them. Like I paid for the figure to get the little critters, and I wish I'd gotten better kit with it. But I am glad they finally getting this commander off their list. I was really surprised that Once a Man Cobra Commander came before this. But hey, I know a lot of people are gonna be happy. This isn't my Cobra Commander, but it's enough people's that needed to happen.
So this isn't my favorite one, but I always liked it. So and the only other thing, I had my hopes and dreams for what they would have done with this character when they got into him. I've been, wish list was like he comes with an engine block to crush like he did in the comic when he got the suit, that kind of stuff. My disappointment with this figure is they did not do the Fred head. We talked about it last week. They just don't give a shit about the comics. They don't. I'm glad they're acknowledging the cartoon, because the cartoon was as much a part of my G.I. Joe as the comics, probably more. But some of the stuff out of the comics, man, I just wish they would acknowledge. And they've not made one thing really from the comics.
No, and this is the thing though, right? I see that cold slither set and I look at it and I cannot believe I can believe it. It just kind of surprised me how quickly and positively everybody's very excited about that as a convention exclusive. And I was like, okay, so what's next down the line? Like here you have a fringe variation of the Dreadnoks that was like a big part of the culture of that cartoon at the time, but they were sideline characters that nobody really cared about, right? So if you had a package of say Laura 343, Billy Kessler, Fred, and insert other comic version of Joe there, I could see that being an SDCC exclusive 1 year too, right? Like it's not that they don't care, it's just that I don't know if they see the win in putting it out.
I don't see how they could not. I don't
Yeah,
see how
it's
they.
hard.
Yeah, start with the one that I brought up. Everybody's brought up a few times. Give us a Vietnam Snake Eye Stalker and Storm Shadow.
Well, part of it
Give
could
it.
also be the Crimson Guard neck and ball bearing, or like the ball thing, is such a piece of
Mhm.
shit. It really is.
Yeah,
Like half the time it pulled it with the head. And they might be
yeah.
saying, like, listen, you want a Fred head, but for that figure, it's gonna be a problem.
Yep. Bobby Wald, my Flash Thompson, finally came in today, but I think I want to use his head on Battle Armor Cobra Commander, the Agent Venom, that one, because
Yeah, that's one.
that is a perfect Fred head. I mean, it's like the only other thing I could think of that would work as well as that one would be a Leon Kennedy, a Resident Evil Leon Kennedy head. That
Mhm.
he could work, but that Flash Thompson from that Agent Venom looks just like him.
Yeah, and I've got the flash head off right now, and I think I've just captured my own problem here. We'll do a live demo. So if I pull off this,
Oh, hang on. I accidentally muted you, and I meant to put you on solo. There you go.
that's all right. I do that to myself as much as I can. So there's the ball pin for that, and then you can see the head. I've got a bit of sticky tack in there. It's much larger, like a
Yeah,
much larger dumbbell size. So it'll rattle on there like R2 in the desert. But I mean, there's other bucks like this Crimson Viper. Crimson Viper, I had a easier time with that than I did with the other one. So I mean, like you can
yeah.
still put them in the Crimson. It's just the Crimson Guard buck isn't really designed for it.
Will John have the adapter for that at Retro?
So on a Top Fun Retro Toys 3D. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I can almost assure you, if you were to search through his catalog long enough, you would probably stumble across the right ball bearing and more. Or
I'm
dumbbell,
pretty
pardon me.
sure.
Pretty
Pretty sure
sure.
he's got it.
Strange
Pretty
you would bring
sure.
him up.
Yeah. Crimson Cobra Commander, I have no idea where to get the Resident Evil figures. Probably somewhere like BB Tariff S probably has them.
Maybe
I don't know if,
Entertainment Earth? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know if the old ones would fit with the old Toy Biz ones. I don't know if they have enough detail anyway. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
Turk saying they make swap out pegs. That's Top Fun Retro Toys 3D. He makes them. He's got them on
John,
his
who
site.
will be, as far as I know, John will be at Joe Fest this year. So make sure if you're going there, swing by his booth and throw your money at him.
Yeah, he makes really good stuff. My
100%.
249 saw that my skeleton over there is holding is one of his. I need to get some more of his stuff. Just don't switch the weapons out that much with them. So, all right. So we got Monkey Wrench is also going to be showing up. We talked about him. A lot of new stuff with Monkey
Hmm.
Wrench. There's a lot of new stuff in this wave of these figures, but they
Hmm.
sunk some money into Monkey Wrench.
I was surprised at how much they did with him, considering what a simple little figure he was originally.
Yeah, they gave him. I mean, they gave him all kind of extra stuff. They gave him the scarf and the dust mask. They gave him the.
Mhm.
I don't even know what to call the mask. It's a 3D. Like
Well, we
you know.
we worked it out when Punk was showing them on one of the Monday nights. They're like that. I think it was Punk. Maybe it was you and me on a different show, but that's Crankcase's same loadout for the neck
Oh
wear,
yeah,
right? Like that's reuse there. But that new mask and hair one piece sculpt is new. And you
yeah.
got this slip over, like, and
Yep.
this trident gun is crazy.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they went ahead and gave him the gun, and then they even reworked it a little bit. They did the trench knife grip on it, and got
Yeah.
some tape, got some it looks like a pouch on the side of it. I mean, but this thing is like it's a Trident harpoon gun.
So,
So
and this was the thing. I got annoyed a little bit with, as much as I love the Dreadnoks, and I do think Hasbro does a good job reflecting Dreadnoks on the 6-inch, but with some mistakes. But it was, where did these extra weapons go with the Fig? And here I'm looking at a pair of axes and this Trident gun, and I know I'm probably gonna ask the question, does he have anywhere to put those axes when he's not using them? And the answer will be no. Right?
I'm hoping maybe he'll have some loops on the back of the pants on the belt, but look at the handles because it was last week when we were talking about those with
Do they have
on
belt loops? Yeah.
Sevens Wild. They're wrenches, they're actual monkey wrenches. So the loops to
That
get
was it. It
that
was you and
through,
Pop. Yeah, we were
yeah.
talking with Pop. That was it. Yeah.
So, but if they do loops on the back, I mean, how big are those loops going to be to fit the
And
business
that
end of a pipe wrench through?
and that's the thing. You know how with Buzzer and Ripper you had to kind of choose between their weapon or their big weapon or their close combats, and only certain things had places, and I feel like that's the conundrum again here.
Yeah,
Right?
I do too.
Something's gonna sit in a box.
I love the axes. I'm a big fan of the axes, sledgehammers, stuff like that. So I might even have him with those and not his weapon. I don't know, but
Just a
I'm glad
big old axe fight between him and BBQ.
and the firefighter because we'll
Yeah,
have him.
yeah. Just and
I'm
Alpine,
actually
you get in there with picks.
yep Alpine. So
Mhm.
get two versions of barbecue in that fight.
There you go.
I like Bobby Wall's comment. He should come with the big heavy spider. That they give Cobra Commander an iguana. They could have given Monkey Wrench. I'd rather seen a spider than the dust mask or the bandana. I'd have rather seen a spider. Wonder if Punk would have not bought it.
Now that you bring it up, I immediately wish they had included a little green one with crystal ball. Like, I makes you see everything you're afraid of. I think a little big hairy spider would have worked with that.
Yeah, that would have been great, man. Like yeah,
Mhm,
thrown in some projections like that.
mhm.
That would have been awesome. He does look like that Cabal from Mortal Kombat a little bit. That mask, he does look
They
like
He
Cabal.
does,
And then the
yes, yeah,
axes, Cabal had those hook swords. Hell yeah,
yeah.
man! I
That
would
was a
whoop
good pickup.
somebody's ass with Cabal too.
Mhm.
It wasn't no joke with Cabal Sector and Nightwolf.
Nightwolf, I've
Yeah,
played, yeah.
I love Nightwolf.
Mhm.
Love that combo with the tomahawk. Road Pig comes with a bunch of gear that just sits. That's true. A
Yeah,
lot of them
yeah.
come with some stuff that sits. I think they
Mhm.
mostly abandon the storing everything on the figure.
And that's just it. I mean, like, I appreciate having a choice. I do. But sometimes it gets burdensome when you've collected a line so long that your bits box is getting really categorically huge because of extra hands and pieces that are never seeing the light of day. And you've
Yeah.
paid for all of them, right?
Oh, for sure. I
Yeah.
think I don't, I don't mind that everything can't fit on the figure. I don't think it's as big
Mhm.
of a deal as some people do.
No, it's true. I just see that where the argument is, it's not like it's fruitless. It's just, I don't know. If it were
So
meaning, would I buy this if it were a deluxe figure when really Monkey Wrench was simple in his past? I'd be like, no, that might be me, but
I would still buy Monkey Wrench with all of this shit, but I wouldn't be happy about paying a deluxe price. I would definitely be complaining about it being a deluxe price if it were.
there you
It's
go.
not, so I think it's a really good. You get so much with him. I do think it's going to be a good deal for this guy.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they didn't like throw something else dumb in to make him deluxe. Now, this
Mhm.
is where going back to the big hairy spider comment, I could almost see them doing a damn spider just to get him up to a with pet price point with all of this stuff. I'm glad they didn't, but I bet it crossed somebody's mind in that boardroom.
You had a way better chance with him getting some sort of funky painted iguana sidekick. Like just some reuse out of Cobra Commander.
Yeah, and like, wouldn't it have made more sense to give Naugahyde the iguana than the monkey? Because it was Naugahyde's iguana that they used in the
I think
experiment.
I think they just remember things at the last second and say, "Fuck it, that's the extra 0.2 grams we needed in the box. Make it."
I kind of do too. I kind of
Yeah.
do too. And Turk says he's got guns, and more guns, and some of them guns he's been showing off are badass too.
Mhm.
So let's see. Cole Slither set. Yeah, it's one of them things, but it's a perfect exclusive. Whether you wind up springing for it or not, I think the price and availability is going to be the big thing for a lot of people. But with that set, you got to admit it is a perfect exclusive for that show. You don't, people
It,
that don't really want it or need it don't have to stress out about it. The only thing that's going to fuck them is that number on the box.
yep, that's just it. It's how big does that number bother you? Because you can't tell me you can't live without that thing if you weren't a big Cold Slither fan. Right?
Yeah, and I'm digging. I want the album, man. I can't wait for the album.
I
Cannot
don't
wait
want.
for that album.
I like the instruments. I like the set pieces. I like the box and everything like that. But I don't like Cold Slither enough to purchase this. I really don't. You know,
Well,
to me that took the intimidation idea out of a bike gang right out of there. It's like we're the meanest, baddest dwelling crime syndicate bikers out there, but we're also boys to men. Like,
yeah,
it just didn't work for me.
we're also a hair band, so
Yeah.
I do like the new song in the video. I like the more metal take on it. I love the animation in that video. It looks like a color uh Walking Dead issue.
Sure.
So I'm curious to see how the whole album of the songs turns out.
I
I want
finally
to hear it.
saw a G.I. Joe movie trailer made by AI that I was like, okay, hang on. Maybe AI isn't the worst friggin' thing I've ever seen in my world. And if you guys have seen it on YouTube, it popped up recently. It was Dreadnoks, the movie, done by AI. It
I don't
features
think
like
I've seen
Zorana.
that one.
It looked actually really cool. Whoever was in charge of feeding the AI the right information to get the reflection right, so it was Chuckles versus the Dreadnoks set in like a Grand Theft Auto kind of environment, right? It was really cool. Like,
Yeah, you have
yeah,
to send me that one. I've seen
I've
a
got it
lot of those.
saved. Yeah, I
Yeah,
I will send you that one because I hate those things, but that one caught my eye and I was glad to watch it.
there's a couple of them that are pretty good. Most of them are
Mhm.
ass. I
Yeah,
really the ones I really like are the 50s Panavision ones.
I love those ones.
I
Yeah,
love those.
especially with the narration, and then you see like the fake AI worried look on everyone's face.
Yeah. And they're just the biggest titties in all of fantasy. And the smallest tops.
Yeah,
It reminds me of heavy metal when they wore clothes in heavy metal, like
it
the few
is.
times the women had clothes.
It is 100% heavy metal as I see it, and that's good because Heavy Metal the magazine, I guess, is relaunched again, and I'd love to see that come back into the norm of the culture again.
Yeah,
Heavy
man.
metal was a brilliant property.
My brother had quite a collection of heavy metals.
Yeah.
Turk is really upset that they have not made wetsuit. So, and
Yeah.
I feel you. I'm there with you. I'd rather see wetsuit than several of the stuff in the last few waves.
So in the British version of G.I. Joe there, the Action Force or whatever it was,
Hmm.
wetsuit was from Toronto, Canada. And I really wanted a wetsuit, but
Oh
on
man,
the ARH, I think he's from somewhere else. But he was the only Canadian that I could think of off the top of my head that I was like, I really want to find this figure. And they didn't make it yet.
So maybe you'll get your wish. So
Maybe.
let's look at the leak pictures, the new ones from JCon. We're gonna go through these relatively quickly, but there are a few new ones. I'm sure everybody's probably synced them. So here's our better look at Cobra Commander. And so these are supposed to go up for pre-order, like this one, next week. And we have not seen anything other than a render other than right here. So they haven't shown us any figures. So I just not going to go through them, not going to take a bunch of time on them, but I think the sculpting in this looks really top notch. I think once what the colors are done, I hope it's a little shinier. I hope this is a dull, the pauldrons. I hope all of it has the sheen to it, like the helmet. Red holster. You got any thoughts on it? I think it looks fine.
Yeah, and it's I was originally wondering if that backpack had any kind of functionality just because of its size, but it clearly doesn't. I don't care enough about this figure to pick flaws in it or to promote anything about it. Really, it's not often I say that about a Joe figure, but
yeah,
it's just not mine.
It wasn't my favorite Cobra Commander, but it was still a Cobra Commander. I even like the shitty ones from the last couple years of the line, but I never had them. But it's Cobra Commander, and this was one that I did have and I did play with. Still got it down there in my Ziploc with my other figures from 40, 30 years ago. So we got that. Then we get this is some of Mercer's gear. This is he's got like a modular holster and knife and sheath. And you got a couple of his I guess those look like the wrist
gauntlets,
things. Yeah, that go protectors that hide that wrist joint. All that looks all right. Get another look at the body for him. We've seen this one already. No paint on this guy yet. I do hope that it does have the tampo with this little snake with the line out through it here. Looks like that's what it's going to be.
The snake buster,
I hope they get that right. He does have this as a new weapon, this grenade launcher shotgun.
Like that does look like new. You don't see many belt hangings on Joe like that. I would say that's new.
Why this should have come with Dark Lawn too. He's got the damn grenade strapped to his leg.
I'm just trying to see the size. Is it a shotgun or a grenade?
To me, that looks like a M79 or something, or a 203 round. No, 203 round.
Looks like a grenade launcher for sure. So
yeah, it looks like
it's a bad day.
Shotgun possibly. So yeah, that's your ass. Looks like that's going to plug in. So let's hope that it stays in when we plug it in.
Yeah.
But I think it looks cool. It's a new gun. Something they actually might be able to get two hands on. And there's all of it together. Kind of the same stuff there. Another shot of the modular holster there.
These are not features that when they're unpainted that impress. They're just leak photos as I see it. It's like
it's just
like somebody's showing me their running shoes. I'm like, cool, they're nice shoes.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, they look all right. So till it's painted, let's hope that it's painted. So and there he is. There's the back of his vest. I do like the puffy ridges and stuff and the padding and the
quilting,
jacket. Quilting, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. I do like that. I like that that's sculpted in and not just plain. Probably won't have a backpack. I don't know why he would.
Yeah,
we'll see.
If I do, I hope it's Duke's.
See that one again.
Just one more time.
So there's a look at our monkey wrench hair and mask. Some early, these are rough. They still got sprue and shit on them. So I think it looks good. An initial sculpt on it. I'm really excited to see how this turns out.
Again, what was it? Somebody just mentioned about Monkey Wrench, the similarities, but I see a few things. I see Mad Max, I see Scarecrow, I see a lot of things with that mask. So it's interesting that they did it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to
So
hear
Shane,
why. I hope something
Shane
lore.
from Shane from Same Time Toys and Wraith Mace would love this theory, but what I see here is a bit of Warhammer 40k influence in Noise Marines, which are there's Selenian space marines that love heavy metal, play flaming guitars like the guy on Mad Max on the truck,
Oh,
but they
nice.
have masks that are speakers and their eyes are stitched closed and they got goggles anyways, and just really mutinous Hellraiser kind of stuff. These are dead ringer for Noise Marine faces for me.
Have they made any figures out of those guys yet?
They will at some point if they haven't already. The Noise Marines were really popular for that line.
Mr. Mad, guess what? Monkey Wrench? No,
Mm.
you can't be talking about Monkey Wrench. He says
Okay.
he hates they're wasting a mold making the slaughter. Okay, maybe that. I see that one staying in the package. So we're about to get to that one. There's a side shot of the hairpiece and the mask, and where also you can see the ridge in this hair for the glasses. So hopefully the glasses are going to stay put on him because they're going to be removable. So we'll
Good
see.
history there.
So there's a good shot of his crotchal region, his diaper. I dig the belt buckle.
We call this the George Michael shot.
Yeah. He's joining Cold Slither for his cover of Faith.
Yeah. To turn around, eh?
Yeah.
All right, we'll beat that one to death.
Faith. So shiny, give me shiny chains. I'm all for it. Give me some shiny chains. There's a shot of the vest there. It's up to GI Jetman is joining us. What's going on, man?
The vest unpainted, now he looks like fucking Magic Mike Bain.
He does. It's really Channing Tatum under there.
Yeah. You want to lap dance? I was born to lap dance.
Look at my Swedish penis enlarger. It's not mine, honestly. Shit. Yeah, he does. Magic Mike Bain. I'm probably going to remember that when this guy comes out.
Might have to build that just for fun.
I like the back there. Got the cross on it. You can see sculpted in. I like that. And Madgus was talking about the mask. He don't like the mask, I guess. So I get it. Magic Monkey.
So the mask is I don't know who they're trying to reach out to with these masks. You know, like if they're trying to fold in kind of like, hey, we want a more steampunk, like something to compete with more of the sci-fi audience for our line, or if I've missed something that appeared in comics somewhere that isn't registering. I don't know who this is for.
I don't either. I think it's just them trying to do something different. I like it. You know, there's some people out there that don't like steampunk stuff, even though they have it in their name. But I like it.
You know, leading change and being innovative is something that everybody's looking for in their employees, right? If it's done right, I just don't know if this is being done right or not. If it's, if it's a topic everybody's kind of pointing out, going, why?
Yeah, it is definitely a why thing. I hope it is explained somewhere, but they're not doing a real good job of explaining some of their choices, are they?
No.
Still ain't heard nothing about the Dark Energon mines with the mole rats yet.
Well, and it's not like I would trust a Hasbro stream to ever explain it properly anyways, because it seems like, two people are working off one book and the third person is working off no book, and they're never revealing things in the same mindset. So
no,
if this ever gets explained, I don't think it's by them.
No, it'll be explained in the description when it goes up for pre-order on Walmart. That's where
Yeah.
most of the file cards seem to be displayed. So
Mhm.
here we got our Sarge. I'm fine with this. I don't
I'm
like
better.
that I have to. I don't like I have to buy it to get Mercer.
So Surge, I've got a Valor Surge, I've got the first Surge, I've got the Mad Marauder Surge, which I kept in the box. You'd think I wouldn't want this Surge, but I do. If this is the Desert Warthog appearance Surge, it should be a newer, but like a different design for the buck, and then having a beret. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
I do
this
too.
Surge. Mhm.
I like Sergeant Slaughter. Like I really like Sergeant Slaughter, so I got no problem with this. It's gonna be a
He would
pass.
have to say that because he
Pass.
shows up at the Joe Fests. You,
Yeah,
you don't want
right.
to be the guy on record saying I fucking hate Sergeant Slaughter, then you meet him at Joe Fest.
Yeah. There's the back, got his ammo belt. It looks like that's gonna be well, we know it's removable because it's not on here. So that looks fine. Is that maybe rock and rolls reuse from no rock and rolls was a single,
That's right.
right?
So
No.
rock and roll, no, he has the double. I'm looking at him
Okay.
right now.
Okay. Somebody has a single.
Tunnel
Big
Rat.
Ben?
Tunnel Rat has a single. Tunnel Rat
Tunnel
has a
Rat.
single, and Range Viper, I think, has a single as well.
Okay, that's the two. So fits Range Viper, don't fit Tunnel Rat. So I can't tell if that's the same one or not. Don't really care.
When I
That's fine.
first saw these photos, at first I forgot there was another Sergeant Slaughter coming. I was like, are they doing V2 rock and roll? Is it
That's what he looks like
possible? A little bit.
from the back. Yeah, it does look a little bit like it. You know they're going to be doing that for long. That's like
Oh,
a lot of people's most wanted figures at V2 rock and roll.
well, he was what, the second season of like a Deke all over the
Deep,
place or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. He come out in 89, I think.
I just remember him in cross country jumping in there, and yeah, their mobile adventure with Scoop and all that crap.
Yeah, that was definitely the Dick stuff. Dick. So here's all of it kind of put together. I mean, I like it. I'm good with it. There's a close up of the. Now I don't know if it's going to be two head sculpts because we don't see the hat separate, but we see the beret. So I don't know if they're going to be interchangeable or this hat is molded to this head because we don't see the hat separate.
Well, we know he always wants it on his head in the packaging and things like that. So I think it's going to be. I honestly think this is going to be the same head they've been using the whole time. Really, for dimensions. So I think these are going to be interchangeable headdresses, really.
Yeah, I think Punk looked at it the other night and said he thinks it's the same one. Does look like it.
Yeah.
So,
See, when you pan back, that looks like it should be rock and roll.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Because he's got that hat too.
He's
Looks
got the
like
cap.
rock and roll.
Yeah.
So I guess this head
you guys
is
don't
interchangeable with the beret, and then maybe the hat's made on to the other head. I don't know. That's what it looks like. We'll see.
So this is one of the rare times where I know I could see a difference enough to state it about a Vala versus Sergeant Slaughter versus a Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter. The hat on the Vala Sergeant Slaughter is fucking horrible for staying on. It's way too hard.
That. I don't have it. I've heard it.
No, it's like it's one of the hardest pieces of plastic you could have picked to do that with, and it shoots off like nothing.
Yeah.
So
it's heavy duty, black guy with the backwards cap, heavy duty. No, it's not. It's heavy Sarge.
That guy with black. Oh no, I'm thinking of Big Lob. Its cap was on forward, but
Big Lob didn't have a cap.
Nope. Who am I thinking of? Hardball. God, I forget.
Yeah. Hardball. Yeah, Big Lob had kind of a small fro, like afro, but he had hair. He had like a full head of hair.
Sure.
Yeah, it wasn't an afro.
Got to remember we're talking
So
about what was reflected on a 3.75-inch figure, right?
yeah.
Hair was relevant.
So I got this. So this next picture is from Baldy Locks, if you couldn't tell. So this is the Sarge that it's kind of based off of. I think it was a convention exclusive. I want to say he said 2006, but this was Baldy's picture where he kind of shopped in that Sarge with this one that we're getting.
Oh, okay. I thought
So
it was always the Warthog version. Like
no,
this is news to me. So
yeah, he had on like a vest, almost like a kind of like a tack vest. He did have the bullets. It's similar, but it looks like this is the one that they're basing it off of. I never had this one. This was I think he said a 2006 figure, so I never even saw this Sergeant Slaughter.
yeah, no, that's why I don't know the differences, because he wasn't a character on my radar a whole lot. Everything was mail order or not available.
Yeah, I didn't have that dude. I was way out of it by then, and any of those figures around that time I bought would have been some of the Toys R Us exclusive ones. So
yeah.
If you can hold it down for a second, I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Sure, I just can't see the chat right now, so that's fine.
I won't be long.
No, that's fine.
You want full
tell
screen?
guys, yeah, sure. I'll just tell guys kind of what's going on around here.
Yeah, tell them what's happening with the channel right now.
Just hurry back. Go pee now. Why aren't you using the Gatorade bottle I sent you? So if you guys
It's
are
full.
following my, oh, that's fine. Okay. On my channel, and this will save us having to talk about it in the end. You'll notice it's been really erratic lately with any kind of figures coming out and things like that. That'll change when there's figures that I've picked up, that like the Joe stuff, clearly. But you've seen I've kind of been focusing on building more terrain and set pieces in the back, and that's really to keep me busy in my retirement. I find retirement is very boring, but it's also very expensive when you're collecting figures. So I'm trying to find different ways to kind of work with these figures, but not spend a ton of money. So that's why you see a bunch of cheap shit in the background. But as far as reviews goes, you have seen me doing a lot of Marvel Legends. I talked about that, and I will be doing Cosmic Legions and Mythic Legions and things like that. But I am slowly, finally getting around to possibly ordering my first Gridiron kit. So my question to the guys in the chat, possibly, if you were to pick, and I'm going to use US pricing, one kit under $50 that you think was the best value for your classified collection from Gridiron, be it a set of wheels or a special weapons loadout or whatever, what would you recommend? And also, if it's $50 to $100, or no, we'll say 50 to 150, what's the kits you recommend in those price brackets? I'm looking at what I want to order. I do want to get back to my second vamp and finish that up with some Gridiron stuff, but I can't really decide what I want. That's me filling time, guys. Daredevil. I want to talk to Darren about Daredevil, but is anybody in the chat actually enjoying Daredevil right now? And if you're not, are you wondering why? That's my big question for the chat. But I know that's a Poplander show, so but there I found out something today as to why Daredevil might not be going as well as people were expecting, and why that's set to change for the next episode. So once Darren gets back, I'll mention that to him, because I know he was not a fan of last night's episode, and neither really was I. You back? Good.
I'm back.
Okay.
I
can't see the chat.
Yeah, I know. Nobody has suggested the Gridiron stuff yet. All I
Good enough.
have is the 50 caliber, the Maldus, the old Painless set, and a sawed off double barrel shotgun. Which
Yeah.
now I have
So-
another one because you sent me Jigsaw.
Yeah. I got the Saboteur. I think loadout that Digital Diarrhea had sent me, but it was a broken pin, so I didn't count it because I never picked it. But I am shopping because I wanna see my own take on some of this stuff. I can only see it in pictures these days. So tariff time.
Yeah, right. Well, at least
Mhm.
that stuff's made here, so there shouldn't be any tariff on it. On Gridiron.
Yeah.
Jetman says he's watching Daredevil. Bobby says even started or haven't even started. Think haven't even started it. Did get going on Mobland. I gotta get on that. I gotta watch that. And
Yeah.
the Bondsman. He's watching the Bondsman. Crow. You've been telling me I need to check that out.
I love the Bondsman. I was very reluctant to get into that, and I'm so glad I did. What a great show that was for a simple action series, really.
Matthew said, if you listened to us, you'd have known this. Episode 6 started with the new writing, and the second half of the season was completely rewritten.
Yeah, and what they were talking about, is they did the old writers that they let go wrote everything from episode 2 to episode 7, and they left them with this mess of a story arc that no one gives a shit about, which is Kingpin's personal life,
Don't
right?
want to spoil it too much, though.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna go into the weeds of it, but it's kind of the story that I felt like they were almost contractually obligated to give Vincent D'Onofrio for a return to the seasons, right? Like Disney whacked him out with shows like Echo, and now they're trying to tie them into things with Miss Marvel and other of theirs. And they really kind of softened the Kingpin character, and it's not going well. So with the new writers, I kind of hope that they kind of do a violent purge in this story
Yeah.
soon, you know?
Yeah. It's all over the place. And I have, for the most part, enjoyed this season. I do agree with Pop and Matthew. It is not up to par with the Netflix seasons, but it's not awful. It just, you can tell the writing was like all over the place, and it shows some of
Hmm.
the storylines and the plot threads and stuff just spiral everywhere. Um, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. And you talking about the Kingpin, I hate the way Kingpin is portrayed in all of Daredevil. They continued, they were already doing this in the Netflix series, and they just amped it up for this one. He is the biggest emo bitch. Like, I hate what they've done with Kingpin in this series. He's probably my favorite Marvel villain, and I hate the way they wrote the character for this show.
I don't hate him. I've seen enough of what the more recent Daredevil story arcs. I watch a lot of Comics Explained because I'm too lazy to go read the damn thing, right? And I get caught up on the story arcs that they're trying to borrow some of these things from, like Foggy's death and the Kingpin being the mayor and Muse. Like, if you trace back to all those stories, you can see where they've really kind of slapped it all together and said, "Look, it's like that," and you're like, "No, it lacks all of the depth that made that palatable." Like, yes, the Kingpin did become the mayor in New York, and yes, he did transition his character a fair amount, but it wasn't done over the period of 8 episodes. It was like years
Yeah.
of watching him go through shit. Here, it just seems like he became soft serve ice cream just because he got married and got beat up once by Daredevil. It doesn't
Yeah.
work.
It doesn't. All of his resolve, like, it just, no, I feel no weight of any decisions or anything in this season. Like, it just, like, whatever. The way the last episode ended, there was a little bit of on the edge of your seat, but not a lot. It was there
Nah.
for me a little bit. Yeah, not a lot. So,
Yeah.
so we're going to need to get into our main topic, which I don't think will take a super long time. I have one more thing I want to show because I forgot about it.
Mhm.
And I'm going to go through these relatively relatively quickly. I just want to show that these are going to be coming out imminently. Been talking about these for a minute. These are the JFS toys, Villains of Old Detroit, the RoboCop figures.
Oh, yes.
You guys know how bad I want a Clarence Boddicker figure. I want Clarence's whole gang. This is Clarence's whole gang. So they were supposed to go up for pre-order on the 31st of March, but they had some issues with their website. I'm guessing their servers probably weren't up to snuff. But this is the final product of the figures. I think they look good. I don't think they look great. So I'm just going, I think I got 3 pictures of each one. Just going to go through them really quickly. I am at least going to try and order Clarence, even though I want them all. So you take a look at these here. Single.
Who makes them again?
JFS Toys. It's a European company. It's a I think they're in Great Britain. So
are these 4-inch or are they 6?
They are in line. They are 6 and I think they're 6.5. They are in scale with NECA, so they will scale with that RoboCop, that Ultimate Alex Murphy.
Yeah, so they're 6.5 to 7-inch. Then.
Yep. So they are made to scale with the NECA RoboCop figures. There's a meal. That's how you can tell it's not a U.S. company.
Wolverine can't smoke, but he can.
Yep, damn right. So there he is. He's giving a cigarette. And then
do they have a version of him where he's more pasty on the hood of a car somewhere? Or?
They're doing a statue. They don't have a figure, but they're doing a statue that is like 18 inches tall or something. Like it's big. I don't have a picture of it, but it's out there. You could find it.
This will be interesting.
There he is. Got the Mac there.
Yeah.
Where he's holding up the gas station. Here's Leon. I think Leon looks really good. I don't like that. You can see.
I like that they've shown it. It shows that it's a real problem.
Yeah, they didn't hide it. So get it out of the package and it looks like a fucking pretzel. There, look at Shooter's gun again. So I think Leon looks good. They all look good. Leon and what's the black dude? Not Steve. It is Steve. So there he is. He's got the gun that they used to take down Ed 209 with. They blow the damn Main Street up.
See, these pictures are telling me everything I kind of need to know. As far as I feel like these are going to be great little statuettes, but not great posers. Like
they're going to be like NECAs. They're not going to have the articulation.
I haven't seen a single weapons pose here that has shown me that this elbow bends past 90 degrees. Like the Mac 10 was straight out, the pistol's straight out. Even when Boddicker's got the sawed off, it's just kilted up over his shoulder. And now I just see now that Buddy's holding the sniper rifle on the one shot. It's down at the hip. It's not promising.
So, well, now as far as Clarence, like that's how he carried it. That's the scene in the movie.
I get that. It's just if you look at the way the elbow is formed on I feel like 45 is as close as you're getting. It's not double pinned. Like doesn't seem that way, right?
Doesn't look double pinned. You got a little more. You can see a little more there in it. But it's not going to be much more than 45. You might get 90.
And I'm not complaining. I mean, it's not like NECA is a great, play figure either. It's a poser like this one will be, but the weapons kind of give it away when you have a weapon that's bigger than just single pistol grip, right?
But I think the weapons look really good. Like I like that. I hope that is a little bit better. But if they're made to par with NECA, I mean, the NECA weapons, they don't bend. They'll fucking snap, but they won't bend. So then here he is. He's got 2 head sculpt with the shades,
with the beret and the sunglasses.
So I think he looks fucking good. Got the camo hoodie on.
He looks dynamite.
So there he is, holding it out in the same position. And
Not trying to make a point here, but
all right.
Bang.
Yeah. Oh, can I play? Oh, he is there. And then that's maybe he's Steve. I think he's Steve. I can't remember his name. I did know them all, but it escaped me. So he's got another sawed off.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see there on the elbows. So I think they look good. They don't look great. I want the whole gang. I don't know if I'm going to get the whole gang, but I'm definitely going to buy clearance because I need a clearance Boddicker figure. So JFS Toys, keep your eye out for them. They should be going up just any time. No, the kicker about these is they are $60.
Oh, good God, no. Each.
And I don't think they're going to be worth $60.
No, Lord, no.
That's why I'm probably only getting clearance.
I could see that now. Why? Like, I'd be like, what's the harm in getting them all if they're, on regular par, if they're your thing? But at $60 a pop, that's a big ask for such a niche gang.
Yeah. And, that Ultimate Alex Murphy, that NECA, he's regular NECA price. He was $35. So these are meant to go with those figures that are that price point. And then they got a couple deluxe. So I'm excited.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You're excited.
I'm excited that they're getting made, and I want to see what they ultimately look like. They got awesome packaging. I'm going to look like the VHS kind of stuff. But
yes, I saw. I do remember seeing the thing about the packaging and using the old VHS cover slide method. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, I dig that. So, Pop Blender's in the house. Trump repealed all tariffs. We talked about that a little while ago. And
90 days
sucks.
is not. 90 days is nothing, man.
It's a carrot and a fucking stick. And I did
90
tell everybody
days does nothing for the stock market stability right now. I'll tell you that.
And I did tell everybody, Pop, when we were talking about tariffs, to go and check you out on your new time on Sunday night, and you'll talk about tariffs with them all they want. So I did do that. So let's get into what we were going to talk about. Our topic for tonight, and it's not one that's going to take a super duper long time. So that's kind of why we held off and was talking about our other stuff and wanted to go back and forth with chat with you guys. So the idea that we had was, what kind of things would G.I. Joe need, or could they incorporate technologies, whatever, should classified start getting stale, or what would be the next step in keeping people interested or bringing in more people, things they could add into the line to try to add more value, or if this stuff goes up, make it worth the value. So, Crow, what was you thinking? You kind of spearheaded this one. What did you have in mind?
Well, I think the biggest one is, and I've talked about this a few times, is you got to play on that nostalgic bone while you have your market with the money that have it, right? And Hasbro's window opened in 2022 for that market. And if we said 10 to 15 years shelf life, it's time to start playing around. And one of the things they did is they're repeating things that were very familiar to us, but they're missing a bunch of stuff that they're leaving up to third-party distributors. Vehicles is one thing, and I'll use the Gridiron Hound as the prime example of where it's now a problem for them, right?
Yeah.
The Awe Striker came out, and everybody else had third-party products on their mind that they wanted more than the original intellectual property and its license holder was presenting them, right? If you look back at the GI Joe line, in between waves, what they were doing was going for the smaller dollar amount, that trickle residual money amount between waves that parents were still willing to spend. And you had items like train pieces like the Watchtower or the Range, which we see them starting to talk about now, finally. But you had other things like pack rats and little zip lines and weapons packs and all these little male getaways that would have compromised that. What I'm getting at is all those little things that you don't think we want is exactly what everybody is going to third party sellers for. Weapons packs, small vehicles, be it all that kind of stuff. And yet we look at how long between waves of Joe. I haven't had a new Joe in a couple of months now, and potentially going to be a couple of months more. And you are identifying that you're dealing with adult collectors. This is a bad drought to go through on their money unless they're buying other things that your company's producing, right? So when I
And
said new tech, I meant re-gear the old shit again.
And they did tell us that there was going to be a delay in getting stuff into our hands this year, moving stuff to the Vietnam factory, which they didn't, I don't think, ever specifically said that was why there was going to be a delay, but they did say there was going to be a delay in production and getting everything shipped out. So, so we did know that was coming. We knew they told us that, and we'll see. Like, we'll see what the delay really is, because last year was really screwed up with the distribution of these guys. Maybe that was the beginnings of it. Maybe that's just Hasbro going Hasbro.
Well, I mean, there's always the unpleasant thought that a company's okay with their line dying after a certain time too, right? Like, let the market handle itself. The figures will tell us, oh, it's time. Who cares? Right? Like,
I don't think that it's at that point yet, but I do see people starting to lose interest. It's still saving their ass right now. Their board games and Transformers and GI Joe. Legends are doing better. There's always going to be your Marvel people, but Hasbro's really, Chad says it all the time, and they've saved the company numerous times over the years, all the way back to the 60s. So it's, Chad talks about that a lot. He's right. So I don't see them. It's too hot to kind of let it wither, but they're going to have to do something to keep people vested during these droughts.
well, that's what we're here for. And did you have an idea for that?
I was thinking about some of the stuff that you're talking about. They're going to have to figure out a way to, I think we're going to see some more like kit bash type stuff mixed in, maybe somewhere. One figure every other wave is going to be some kind of like a steel core or just some kind of random dude. Cause they're talking about saving money. They're talking about things going digital. We're seeing cutbacks on some of the accessories, the packaging. Then you'll have your figures like we were talking about with Monkey Wrench that's going to get the souped up stuff, but then you got Cobra Commander that's got a gun and a backpack and two hands and an iguana that's not articulated. So they're going to have to balance it out somewhere. I think they're going to wind up doing some kind of kit bashes or kit bashing into existing characters in a slightly different outfit or something like that.
Could be.
And I was thinking about stuff once they get it straightened out, once the course is corrected, whatever that takes, what can they do at that point to maybe inject maybe even some new technology into stuff as people are growing, as people are getting older, the ones of us that were able to get our kids into it, to keep our kids that are all about the digital everything, to keep them going along with GI Joe. So I was thinking about that too, and what could they do in that, vein of keeping people in. There's a big one right there, Triple C, like the weapons pack and accessories packs. I don't know. You talked about all the other companies that are doing it better than they're doing it. Look how much
Oh my
money they're
God.
losing to Gridiron or to Valaverse just on weapons packs.
Yeah.
People say
So-
what they want about the two lines, but Valaverse is doing weapons packs, and their weapons are pretty damn good.
So at this point, like I said, one of the things that a lot of companies think about is how their toys are being presented by their consumer once they purchase them, right? That's why you get so many third-party add-ons. Hasbro's been sitting on this. We want to throw bases into retro figs, but not into other figs. That would require bases. Is not something we're gonna do. But how many Joe Flyer characters do we have, and how many Marvel Legends flyers do we have? And they can't come up with a consistent plan for things like this, right? They think about the fig, but they don't think about displaying it as much unless they can make a big cash cow on it. The biggest
Yeah.
one that really pisses me off, and I know it pisses off a lot of people, is this fake dedication towards tech that Hasbro claims they have at times, right? That QR code on the side of the box, which serves absolutely no purpose, but is an actual door between the consumer and the company for you to go shopping through what should be a virtually endless catalog. It should be able to take you to anything you needed to know about the toy you just bought. And it doesn't do any of that. And one of the biggest things that people liked about G.I. Joe in their childhood was what came with that toy. It was a story on the back about who that guy was and a wave release. There was involvement between the consumer, the toy, and everything like that. So why are we not using these little inserts on the inside of the Joe packaging more effectively? Like, hire an artist to do stuff, and you're going to pay them. Do the AI stuff, you're going to get complaints. But if you start showing the conscionable effort of what the people wanted out of the character beginning with, you might get less argument about it, right? Like, I don't know if that falls under tech or just spending money a little bit more wisely with your product.
We talked about the Four Horsemen stuff. We talked about the Jada stuff at what you get for your money. And we do get a lot of accessories with our Joes, but some of these other figures are cheaper and they're doing more. The packaging, we've all talked about the packaging, constantly because they keep changing it and messing it up. Things like the packaging, the blueprint is already there. You just talked about it. File cards. How hard is it to take a file card and if you have to update it a little for modern times, if it mentions Vietnam or Korea or whatever, update it as much as needs to, put it on there, put something on there. You talked about the QR code. Put it online. If you don't want to print it on the box, print a little blurb on that says scan QR to see info about this character. And like, how hard could that possibly be for $1 billion company to dedicate somebody to do that part of their website? It's little things like that that they're getting beat to death at. Talk about Valaverse. You get a file card, you get the action points. Like they're getting their ass kicked at the game they invented, and not just by Valaverse as far as this stuff goes, like value packaging for value for your money, the packaging, all of that stuff. All these other lines are doing it. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at like all of this. You get cross sales, you get the character, you get that, you get art over here, and then the box is shaped like the arcade cabinet. And this figure was $21 new. Come on, it's your own IP. This is licensed. It's also made overseas.
And now for G.I. Joe, you get a black carbon fiber looking box with a character where the reflection, You know, you can get a good look at the character on that blue background, but you don't really get a good gauge of the relevance of that character in any way, right? And that brings us over to how the tech is being used now. You have AI tech and it's tricking everybody left and right. And I'm sorry, but that whole bullshit about the vehicles on the back of the box that are appearing with characters in the promotional art right now is getting so fucking tired when we know how AI is being used, right? Throw me one of
Yeah.
your intellectual properties and I will reproduce an image of it doing something different than you expect. So
Yep.
that's why you get a bridge layer in the background. And people go, woo! You're like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
free for them to do. Right.
Yeah.
But again, why didn't you copy that background you used for that photo shoot onto the card of the back of the box character for them to be like, oh, that's exactly like it is in this picture. That's pretty cool. Like simple little eye-catching shit to make your product stand out.
Yep.
They are taking the nostalgia for granted and really thinking the figure is the only part of the game that matters.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And what you're talking about, like with the mauler on the back and the bridge layer on the back, that feeds into what you just said, the FOMO, and oh my God, this confirms they're getting them. Oh, we're getting a mauler. This confirms they're going to do the bridge layer. Like, no, it's just window dressing that they fed a picture and a description into AI.
Yeah.
Hot Blender says there's no way G.I. Joe can make a comeback with kids at this point. Our world remains rather unchanged regarding decades, but it's
Yeah.
completely different now. Kids have no concepts care.
No.
And then Turk, they got us old jokers hooked, and all because mismanagement. And Mr. Madgus, the Hasbro leaves so much money on the table, it's like they're scared to spend any money without buyers backing it first. That's a damn good point.
100%. And this is the big thing. If I'm a company like like let's say Disney, and I'm attached to a toy company and make them toys, right? I'm going to tell you right now that GI Joe's lifespan was never going to be long compared to how it was in the 80s. Because if you go back to how the world looked at the 80s, US had been recovering over, the Vietnam conflict and uh the conflicts they were dealing with at the time, and they were trying to reignite a passion for their armed forces, which had been very strong always,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in the 80s, they accomplished that. And let's not pretend like movies like Top Gun and Iron Eagle and Delta Force and other things like that didn't help that vibe. But if you go to the military movies of today, it's all about war sucks, pain and suffering, innocent victims, war is unpopular. And guess what? The military isn't that popular either in a lot
Yeah.
of other aspects. It's a gamble to build a toy line where it's, hey, let's go to war and have my guys shoot your guys, right?
Yeah.
Star Wars can get away with it because they're aliens. Other lines can get away with it when the bad guy's a robot. Mythic Legions can get away with it because they're orcs. But as soon as you put another human being in a uniform, everybody gets a little apprehensive of what that's reflecting, right?
Yeah. And that worked well in the 80s during the Cold War, in the early 90s when it was ending, and we still weren't sure who was friend and who was not. But right now it's hard to do that. So
I
I don't know,
propose.
man. It's shaky.
I think lines like Joy Toys Warhammer 40K are a prime example of where the market wants to get pushed. These faceless, useless enemies that nobody cares what happens with, so long as humanity is involved in that. Like it's a good
Yeah.
toy line. It's a good premise. I would suggest that the next best GI Joe classify relevant line be a series of war protesters with picket signs and lawn chairs. I would buy up hundreds of those. Right?
maybe
That's
a
how
maybe a
popular the concept is.
maybe a Tesla with panels you can swap out for flaming ones.
You've got like this erasable spot where you can just write the president and term at the time at the top of the
Yeah.
picket sign.
Yep. Pot Blender is on Sundays at 9 p.m. Central, ladies and gentlemen. And Rafe says, crazy. You can see the demographic, what age group is hitting for his Joy Toy Warhammer stuff, 18 to 35. Never would have thought Warhammer is hitting with the younger demo. And that's
Yeah.
what you just said right there.
Because there's no political statement with that line.
Yep,
There's no politics.
Nailed it on the head there, Crow. Bobby, what Easter egg on the firefighter box? Because I'm having a hard time remembering what is on the back of it right now. Shark Eyes playing catch up. Congrats on the big ass dragon. From one frequent raffle loser to another. Stoked for you.
Yeah,
Thank you, buddy.
One day, Bobby, you will win something somewhere.
Oh, that was Shark. That was Adam. That was Shark Eyes.
I see it's up at Bobby's comment on one screen, Shark on the other. That's why.
Oh yeah, because he's in the runner up club with me on a couple raffles. Shark Eyes. Yes, it's happened to both of us a couple times. Like Turk's 60th anniversary action protester. So let's see, 60. Maybe when we get to what the 63rd anniversary, you could probably do that.
Yeah, we get a green shirt retro, and then we get like a stained shirt retro with the protester.
Right. Swappable long hair.
Yeah. Just repaint Crazy Legs hat to say MAG on the front.
Somebody's probably done it.
It's been done.
Somebody's done it. And then there's some other like the operator caps and stuff that who's making? Valaverse is making that could fit on your guys. So I have some future stuff to incorporate some technology. I did grab some slides from that, and I want to do these real quick. Talk about technology and what could happen if we get some more technical stuff with our Joes, tying it into Hasbro wanting to go digital and future this and future that. So what I see is, what about this guy? Small soldiers with the chips and the microchips in them that were supposed to go to the Defense Department.
You've been reading my dream diary again.
Yeah, I love this movie, dude. That's what talking about way in the future stuff could they do to entice the digital age. This was the first thing that come to mind. How ahead of its time was this movie, and it really wasn't even trying to be, with computer chips and shit in the figures and AI and all that stuff, self-aware stuff.
So, now that you've shown it, because you're right, this thing was ahead of its time as far as how we would look at it. But wouldn't it be amazing if Four Horsemen decided this was the next topic of their spin-off lines? Like we're going to do guys based on small soldiers, kind of like they did with Fisher Price and Motu. But even a G.I. Joe retro card version of this guy would be fun.
I love these guys. I love this movie. But when we were talking about future stuff, this was the first thing that come to mind was small soldiers.
And why?
Yeah, because of where it goes. Because talking about what could come next for the line to take it into the future, tying it in. Maybe there's something on this figure that you download an app for. I mean, God knows Hasbro can't make an app, but could you imagine
that's play the nachos?
Yeah, that's where the disconnect would be. That's where this figure would probably go homicidals, trying to control it with the Hasbro app.
Yeah. So I was so glad you brought this particular example up, because it was something I had talked about before. Maybe it was with you, or maybe it was with my kid. But how hard would it be? Imagine a 6-inch figure, just sheer plastic, doesn't have to have anything automated, but it's got the chip that you could treat this like your Google Home system and talk to your figure. And like your Siri now sounds exactly like Duke. If it sounds like Snake Eyes, you're in trouble. But if it sounds like Duke, you're good. Or Cobra Commander is now your car GPS through an action figure sitting on your dash. Right? Like
That would be great, man. And you could just
turn
incorporate it
left
all.
there. You know.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Let me think of Taco Bell is on the left.
Yeah. You don't have to talk to this cop.
That's right.
You have rights.
Throw that cup out the window.
He won't taser you twice.
That's right. Yep, Combat Carl from the Story of Terror. Yep, Combat Carl. So I got another one here, just another one of old Chip here. But this is what come to mind, man, when we were talking about what could future stuff be was Small Soldiers. I love that movie. So another one, a few years ahead, maybe. What's that? Some kind of virtual reality simulator where you can put yourself in the pit or on the terror drone.
Is that the holodeck from Star Trek?
It is.
Yeah. So again, you're in my head, man.
So you could plug that up and maybe there's some kind of thing where your figure, when you talked about this originally, when we first talked about it, you remember the concept that you talked about with Joe's? You remember what you suggested? So tell folks what you were thinking there.
Just rear light projection. Instead of spending money on shelf terrain, why not just project it on the shelf wall?
Yep.
Yeah.
And some kind of a base where you talked about the Disney Mirrorverse, where something like that with Joe's, where you could put them on a base, and then you have again an app or a game where if you get the figure and you put all that together, and there's a game or something interactive. And it's just a microchip that's in the bottom of the foot underneath the Made in Vietnam stamp.
Well, another one that we were talking about, like let's just put Energon Universe away for a while and just remember that they were pretty successful as a real American hero. But linking a G.I. Joe character to one of the many issues of the G.I. Joe comic that character might have appeared in, just as some Bucksheaf free reading material shit that's on the code, right? Like this. We can't sit there and pretend there's not a lot of potential for information sharing on the Joe stuff through tech, right?
Yeah, for sure. Pop Blender said it'd be cool if Hasbro did other products like shampoo or deodorant, everyday things guys use like G.I. Joe toothpaste or Bluetooth speaker, like Crow said. I would like to see them do something. You could get G.I. Joe on everything back in the day. They made the shampoo and everything. They didn't have a Bluetooth speaker, but I'd like to see some branding like that. Put it over in the stationery aisle or whatever, and then there's this G.I. Joe. Let's go see if there's toys. I mean, there wouldn't be, if you're in a big box retailer, but this is hypothetical.
I just saw G.I. Jetman's comment under there, under Pops, a little bit further down about the movie Jeff Bridges. You're thinking of Tron, my man, and that's got that new trailer for the new Tron movie looks pretty. It looks cool. I've seen Tron toys before. But.
Yeah, I still haven't watched that trailer yet. The Pop and Matthew talked about it a little bit last night. I was never really a big Tron fan. I thought it looked cool, but I never got into it.
It looks like really cool Tron, but done by Michael Bay with the lights off. Like it just looks like another Transformers movie.
Yeah, pretty much. And Turk says they can skip the cereal. It sucked as a kid. They should have brought back something for Starduster, like a little, like the travel boxes or something.
Yeah.
Let's see. Triple C. Anyone want new vehicles not based on anything from the past, or do you only want vehicles we had before? I don't think they would sell unless
I
they
think it's
are real world vehicles.
yeah, and then yeah, it's that's the tricky thing, right? How far do you modernize the line? Uh,
Yeah.
I,
Well, I
we've
mean,
already heard the mixed response on some of the 60th anniversary stuff, so it's kind of like, well, a vehicle's a higher role. I'm with you. I'm with Triple C on this. I can see why someone would ask.
yeah. I don't want I don't want new vehicles not based on anything that we didn't have before that aren't that are made up concepts. Like
Yeah.
they come out with a new like recon sled or a pogo or some silly like I don't want anything like that. But if they take a real world Humvee, the Hammer, we've talked about the Hammer on here before, like as a potential
Hmm.
HasLab or whatever. The Hammer's based on a real vehicle. I think they could do something like the Hammer, change it up, if it's not the Hammer, just similar. But I
So
don't think people would buy new made up vehicles in the GI
no,
Joe
but
line.
I do have something to address that vehicle situation. That I wanted to show everybody. And for this, I'm going to need the full screen. But was there more about the holodeck before we move on to that?
No, and I've got a couple other things here.
Okay.
But I can go ahead and give you the screen though.
Well, it's just with the vehicles. I recently picked up a Bundley or whatever. I can't remember the company's name. I can't see the box here. I picked up this transformer, and if you've seen my channel, this is a model that I assembled. It comes pre-painted. It required no glue. Didn't even require any kind of clipping tool because it's that well molded that they popped off the sprue. And I was taught Woody mentioned it on his video. On average, this takes about an hour to put it together. Easy Lego instructions, and it's a fully articulate figure, just like what we have with our other stuff. But what got me about this was this falls under a Hasbro property, which means they own the patents for what they're using on these Bumblebees or whatever they're called. And I just saw something that I was like, why the fuck are you not doing this with your G.I. Joe vehicles? This is a magnet, and the component inside is about the size of my thumb, if not smaller. And all you do is touch the magnet to the thing, and you have light ups. It's magnetically charged lights. And I look at the number of vehicles in the Joe line that they could provide a very cheap little light feature to and make them a little bit more interesting. On top of this, how many people would buy a whale if they had a very simple assembly instructions and Hasbro wasn't paying an assembly line anything to put them together? They were just molding the pieces and giving you very adequate instructions.
Yeah.
Like that could be a market for larger scale vehicles that isn't necessarily them putting a big box on the shelf, putting kind of it on you to assemble it, but making it as easy as possible and worthwhile.
Yeah, I would like that idea. I think that idea would catch on because they may say 4 and up on them, but they really mean 40 and up.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
just like I said, they own these kind of patents, and I'm like, this is workable for vehicles, robots, and other things. There are things that are in their wheelhouse that should get this kind of approach.
yeah, I could definitely dig that. And Pop Blender, you bought one of those. Is that the same one that you've got? The one with Laserbeak? Is that the same model that you got? I know you got one, you hadn't put it together yet.
Could be.
Because I saw one too.
Yeah, they had
And
different tiers. This was one of the larger
yeah,
tiers, but they had some smaller ones as well. But but yeah, I mean,
yeah,
like inside that little exoskeleton that they build these things off of, it just you pull the little tab out and it's just a little self-fueling battery off the magnet. And I was like, that's brilliant. Because I mean, picture the Awe Striker with light working KC lights.
yeah.
Okay, now does it compete with the Hound?
Yeah, or the
No.
fans hobby that probably is going to have the working lights.
Yeah.
So got
Yeah.
that one too. Um, so another one that I had pulled up was we kind of talked about this one a little bit. I just threw this. This is a Sith holocron.
Yes.
So some kind of little something that would project, something along those lines, like perhaps that. Like we were talking about, you were talking about projecting backgrounds through a light source, throw a USB in them. Hell, make it like a ViewMaster with a projector,
Yeah.
on the wall for a display. How awesome would that be for a display? Set it up right behind your figure somewhere and have them standing in front of it, something like that.
hmm
Pop says it's like a human skeleton, then you put the metallic parts around it.
Yeah,
Or
that's how it works.
Megatron is just the chef's kiss. I love that interpretation of Megatron so much. I mean, it looks like it should. That model looks like Megatron should look.
Mhm.
If only
It's
he
funny,
turned into a Walther P-38.
yeah.
So the ones that I was telling you about, those blokies. So I saw Prime and I saw Bumblebee, but they were the scaled down ones. They were not. I guess that would be like a deluxe. These were like $10 or $12, and Walmart does have them.
Mhm.
I'm probably going to buy the Prime next time I see it. I'm probably going to get it.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean, 7 inches, I think, is as big as I've seen them get. I would love to see one that got bigger, but I haven't seen them.
that's what she said.
Yeah.
Bobby says, I love my MP36 Megatron. I have no idea what that is. I'm guessing that's one of the super deformed ones or whatever, the big ones. I like that damn, is it Woody that's got that giant ass Megatron that's like scale almost like the robot? Is it Woody
I
that's
don't know. I
got
just
that?
saw one of
The
his room
Masterpiece.
tours. Yeah. Trying to remember
Masterpiece
the last.
36.
Mm.
So I love those things, but they are so out of my price range. And then I have another example of what this would look like if they did it right now. You know what that is?
Oh God, where have I seen that before?
A hint, it's at the top of the screen, if you can read it.
It's at the top of the screen. If I
Yeah,
can
it's the
read it.
title of the slide. So
Oh,
I'll tell you where
okay.
you've seen it before, right here.
I'm thinking Time Cop, but
It's Total Recall.
Total
That's
Recall. Okay.
the watch he had with the projector on it. So if they did it
Oh,
right
right.
now, that's what the
Yeah.
hologram would probably look like. But maybe in the future they can do that and get it down pat. So those are some ideas that I think if the line continues in the near future, perhaps that's something that they can incorporate to keep us vested, to keep maybe our kids, if we got older kids, maybe vested in it. Some sort of, like you said, with the Disney thing, the put them on the little thing and then you can play them. They become playable. Got to buy the figure to get the character in the game or the whatever.
Mhm.
I think something like that could work because we're playing video games. Our age is the video game. We're the ones that grew up with the video games.
Well, and that's the big thing too, is I don't think we've seen the right G.I. Joe video game attempt either to really speak out to anyone. Like
No,
Operation Blackout or whatever that was not
it
it.
could have been.
Could
It
have
could have
been.
been. That
But
game was so good looking. It looked so good. It was like playing an episode of the cartoon, but it had the worst controls of anything I've ever played.
that's right. And if you're a nostalgic guy and you like side scrollers or maze games and things like that, then there are G.I. Joe games out there like that. But the one that amazes me, like why has nobody pulled the trigger on this yet? Is I mean, we could talk about Call of Duty all day, right?
Yep, I
Could
could.
G.I. Joe make for a good Call of Duty game? Oh shit, yes it can. But available on PlayStation, I'm pretty sure it's on PlayStation. I know for a fact it's on Xbox Series X right now, and it's been there for a while as a game called War Thunder, which was, right off of World of Battleships, right? World of
Yeah,
Warships and World of Tanks. And it's a massive open world environment that has the potential to tie together land, sea, and air elements, all single players going. You could have an entire G.I. Joe versus Cobra, everything in the library, video game open world like that. I was like, as soon as I'd seen that out there, I was like, why do we not have this yet? What's holding this up? You can't tell me that our age group right now isn't the perfect market for a game like that.
Oh yeah, it would be. There is one of those games that is similar to that does have
Hmm.
GI Joe skins. I don't remember if it's World of Tanks
I
or
thought it was
there is
Fortnite.
no, it's like a more realistic type one that does have some
Mm.
Joe skins. Like it's got the hiss and I don't know what else, the Mauler, and you can get some Joe skins for it. Is it War Thunder?
I maybe if War Thunder had the skins for it, that'd be great. But I think what I'm looking for is somebody needs to make a dedicated game for this because there is enough characters and
Oh
properties
yeah.
within just GI Joe to keep that thing alive for quite a while.
Oh yeah, man. And seasons, you could do seasons of it themed on different locations. And um, you talk about Call of Duty, like I before I got into classified, I was pretty heavily into Call of Duty. Like I played it
Sure.
Modern Warfare and then 2 and 3. And the first Black Ops is probably the best first person shooter type game like that, war type game that's ever been made, is that first Black Ops. So, and then I left because they started getting shitty. And I come back for Modern Warfare 2019,
Mhm.
got really, really heavily into Modern Warfare 2019. I've got something like 45 days of playtime in that game, like actual in-game hours. Um, and that's all I kept saying was, man, I wish if we could get a G.I. Joe game that plays like this. Like if they did that now and it's like it was then, like 2019 to 2020, not shitty like they've made it again, because I quit playing it again with Modern Warfare 2.
Mhm.
Y'all probably wouldn't see me. That's like a marriage of
Oh,
my two favorite things.
so funny story. This is dating myself, but it's that anyone remembers the predecessors to those games. It was a game called like 1942, right? It was a
Oh
first
yeah, yeah,
person,
yeah.
the very first kind of Call of Duty World War II that was amazing. Somebody did a patch for it, and it was Desert Warfare, and it was
Hmm.
modern, right? I was in Afghanistan when that came out, and I lived outside the camp for like half my tour in these OPs out in the wild. And then we'd come back, and our main camp had a gamer's trailer. It was like 12 computer systems all hooked up, facing each other. And me and my boys, if we were not out in the wire just doing our thing, we were back playing these games. And when you can get to team level, it was right out of a goddamn GI Joe opening credits. I literally
Yeah.
ran my little infantry guy to the airstrip, hop in an A-10, flew, shot a guy down, and then jumped out of my A-10 and parachuted directly into the hatch of a tank and drove that tank into combat. It was amazing, right? I
Yep.
just like
Yeah.
game like that. It was just so cheesy. It was perfect for GI Joe.
I know one thing. If they had have had that game trailer in Kuwait when my brother was over there and got back off of their sorties and their missions, and he'd probably still be over there in the game trailer if
Oh
they'd have
yeah,
had that over there.
I'm
uh,
sure the Americans had them too because I remember we had fights over these things booking
oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember him talking about it, so I guess they didn't have it, but they were
Mhm.
mobile a lot. He was transpo, so they
Yeah.
didn't he wasn't at the base long. So but he liked strategy games. He loved the tank games, the Command and Conquer.
There's another
those
one,
kind of
Command and
games.
Conquer.
Yeah, that was his game. But yeah, he loved all them games, man. Them first sniper games. Pop says, man, you were all about that COD. I was posting, I'd clip accomplishments on Call of Duty and put them on my Facebook page. Like, I have 400 friends on Facebook, and there might be 3 that even know what the hell that is. But I was so proud of them. I actually moved some stuff from my other YouTube channel, my Down South 77 channel that Punk could not understand. I actually went through that channel and I deactivated most of it. But before I did, I downloaded the videos I wanted to keep. A lot of them were videos from when I worked for animal control, pictures and videos of certain animals and certain things we accomplished there, whatever, some of my friends. But and there's some random videos in there. I did a walkthrough video when I sold my Riviera. I kept that one. But one of the video that was at the top, the most recent video I'd saved on that channel was from Call of Duty. Oh shit, the one that come out where they were in, it was like it was a World War II game, but it was the newest one, not World War II, but the one after that. Damn, I can't think of the name of it.
Korea.
Save my life. The name of the game. I can't now. It just completely escapes me, but it was the one between, it come out between 2019 and Modern Warfare 2, come out after Cold War. And then
it wasn't Vanguard, was it?
Vanguard. I could not think of the name of it to save my life. So Vanguard, I refused to play because I didn't want to go back to a World War II game. And everybody told me how awful it was when it launched because it was so full of bugs. And I had no interest in playing another World War II themed game, especially one that launched so buggy. Well, after the first of the year, like February, they got it all fixed. And my buddy that I played with, him and his wife played, and I played with them on the game. And he's like, dude, get it. It's fixed. Like, It's like, look, buy it. And if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back if you don't like it. Like, well, okay, I can't really turn that deal down. So I bought Vanguard. Vanguard caught a lot of shit. I had so much fun in that game and in playing Vanguard. I loved Vanguard. I hated Cold War, but I loved Vanguard. So getting back to this clip, the clip that I saved and I loaded onto my other channel was I went back and I clipped running around with my riot shield. I was a bashing motherfucker with the riot shield. You didn't want no part of me with the riot shield. Well, there was me and some guys that I met that lived in Ohio. We called ourselves the Turtle Brigade. And this clip, I was trying to level up my riot shield, and I saved the clip of me. I think the last one I had to do was a slide kill. It's really hard to slide and kill somebody with a riot shield. And I slid, I got the kill, turned around, killed another dude with the shield, and then I got shot. I got shot from the back. But when I respawned and it restarted, soon as I started moving, pull my shield up, I get shot. So it hadn't started going through everything yet. So next spawn, I take off, I equip my shield, and I start moving slow. Then it starts rolling in. Platinum, melee platinums unlocked. Riot shield, platinum unlocked. Gold, melee unlocked. Gold, diamond shield, camo unlocked. It was just like 20 seconds of everything I unlocked completing those challenges.
Dude, yeah, they like the challenges, man.
I'm clipping this and I'm saving this forever so I can watch this and remember how good I was at this game at one time.
Yeah.
And then My other one that I had clipped was a bunch of compilation shots of the crossbow. I was monster with the crossbow.
No, not me. I didn't
But
have a special weapon. It was all I could do to avoid getting teabagged half the time.
I'd be slick, man. The ones where you could have the detonation C4, where you
Yes.
could set it off. You go plant it and you can set it off whenever. We'd be playing capture the flag, and I'd run over there and I'd capture the flag, but then I'd plant C4 at the base of the flag, and you do it enough times, you know where you can put it where they don't see it because everybody's in a hurry to get over there. So I'd plant my C4 and then I'd run off to go defend something else, and I hear that motherfucker go, "We're losing B." Double tap. Not
Yeah.
anymore, we're not. And then I'll run back over there and recapture it. I was dirty, man. I was dirty with this C4. But
So
dude,
I just
I wish we could get a good cohesive GI Joe FPS or over the shoulder game.
yeah, any of that stuff I think would be the time. This is the time to really do it, right? Like I said, the GI Joe market, we're kind of it. If we're not going to successfully hand it off, and you can't hand it off without
Yeah.
embracing the video game platform. I saw somebody bring up Gran Turismo. I go figure it was Turk Marv, right? Where you can build a car up. I loved that game so much. And then the closest thing I found to that after that, as far as value fun, was Midnight Club. And I can't look at a ramen vehicle on someone's shelf without scrolling through an entire, what color paint, what color rims menu in my head when I look at that ramen vehicle. It's like something out of Midnight Club. I'm picturing all these different paints every time.
If you
Yeah,
back
you're
that
Rev.
bandito, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm just like going, fuck those rims. Nope, these are the rims. Those rims there. But I
want
love
rims
Gran Turismo.
I want some of them rims that when my car stops, my rims don't.
I'll never forget the time I saw spinner rims and it was on a PT Cruiser. And I said, that works.
Oh, wow. Well, span.
Yeah, anything that takes my eyes off the rest of your car is good.
Yep. Oh, let's see. Hold up, Crow. Get where you can hear. Make where you can hear. Can you hear?
Well, I always have to touch the screen as soon as you play. So I will. I do like that. I caught almost all of it that time. I was fast with the hands.
Hell's coming with me, you hear?
Oh, no, I didn't. Was that I'm Your Huckleberry or?
Hell's coming with me, you hear?
Number one movie I watched in college. I had that bitch on VHS because I didn't have cable.
Yeah, I wore some of the stickers off of that tape.
Yeah.
I wore some of the stickers off of that too.
You are next.
Turk Murph saying he wants a classified scale 70 Chevelle. Again, Turk will refer you, or down south would refer you to the Bandito. Yeah.
Odd Frog, man. That's what they're doing. It's a Chevelle. At first, I thought it was an Impala, but no, it's a 70 Chevelle, and that's the one that's gonna have the panels you can pull off and drop different engines in it, and they're gonna have dented panels. It's going to be really customizable. It looks cool as shit. I got pictures of it somewhere.
Yeah. G.I. Jetman's heading out. He's calling it a night. Thanks for stopping by, G.I. Jetman.
Yeah, we're probably about to wrap it up too.
Yeah, I'm in tomorrow already.
I just threw back that Ambien, so we're not far from me singing Kumbaya and talking about how much I love my friends.
Yeah, well, it's midnight out here. And, I am beat. But
Yeah, I'm not too bad today. I will be tomorrow though, after staying up tonight, because I'm gonna go in there and eat something when we're done in here. I do want to tell everybody to go and check out Thursday with a Friend on Punk with Toys channel tomorrow night. Gonna be talking to our very good friend and confidant Dave's Dungeons. Three dungeon Dave.
The daredevil himself.
Triple dungeon.
Captain
He's gonna be in there.
Electrolytes.
Yeah, I hope he brings him a nice jug of Powerade. If he shows up and don't have some Powerade, I'm gonna be disappointed.
So I'm speaking this one directly to Dave right now. And Dave, tomorrow night's episode of Thursday with a Friend is the last time we should ever need to have that story told. I know you love it. Every time we cover that story, it's your finest moment, I'm sure. But hopefully tomorrow night you'll get right into the weeds. We can put that story into the book because you're so much more than just a guy who needed electrolytes. You're so much more.
So much more than a guy that almost died in a lawn chair.
He didn't almost die. It's been exaggerated. He almost lost his head. That was different. You can live without your head.
Frank, Doom on You is in the house. What's happening, Frank?
Hey, Frank.
Let's see. Yep, Triple D is tomorrow, Turk. So have a good run of our crew there showing up on Thursday with a Friend.
Yeah.
I'll be listening, but I will probably be in here playing with this jigsaw figure.
There you go. Yeah, we're all going to be playing with toys. Hopefully I'll have some new ones tomorrow too. Those should be in the mail. It's been good mail week.
Did you check on the one?
No. I figured it'll probably be here tomorrow. I think I sent mine out the day before you sent yours. So I'm just seeing who's got the faster mail service at this point. Everyone's a winner.
Yep. Everybody's a winner. Wish there would have been a lawn chair, he said. Oh, all right. We're going to get ready and get on up out of here for the night. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to us.
And don't forget, like you just put out how many new Mythic Legions? Was it 3 reviews you have up right now for Mythic Legions?
3. Yep.
3. And then the ATL 25. If you guys haven't checked out or don't know what we're talking about with ATL 25, that's a 4 horseman figure that doesn't fit into Cosmic Legions or Mythic Legions. And it's the one that everybody is giving the nickname Roadblock or Heavy Duty to. And check that out on Darren's channel there because it's a good review. And it shows you all the little things you may or may not have wanted to know about that particular figure's assembly.
Yeah, they're frustrating. You will learn. You will learn that they are frustrating as hell trying to put together. Let's see, where is my? Well, I had something I was going to play, but damn if I can find it. Let's see.
Do I have to stand by on the volume button again? You ready?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Where in the world is this file that I want to play?
Should also take this time while he looks for this to just remind everybody it's coming back. Punk with Toys, May Power of the Force. The conversations are there. And make sure you're tuned into Punk with Toys and Allison Troy Retro Toy Princess to get more details on that coming up. Because if you caught it last year, that was a really good time. And we're coming up on that time again sooner than you think for May Power of the 4th, right? So.
Yep, it'll be here in 2 weeks.
2 more weeks.
I give him. I told him which one I'm gonna do. He knows which one I'm gonna do.
I haven't committed to one yet, just because it's kind of bad timing right now. That's right on the week that I think everybody's moving. So we'll see.
Yeah.
That's right about it.
Well, I can't find what I was looking for. We'll find it and show it another day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody hanging in. We had a good chat tonight. Had a good time hanging out with you guys. Didn't go off the rails too much. Didn't have to talk about too much tariffs and all that stuff. Just keep your eyes peeled. Stay aware on some of these shell games, I like to call them, with what they're doing with the prices on this stuff. It's a weird time. Stuff will be $5 higher on one site than it is on another. We don't know where that money's really supposed to be going. So just keep your eyes peeled and your wallets close. Only pull that trigger right now if it's on something you really, really want, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? It's politics, right? You have to
Yeah.
abide. So,
The dude must abide.
yeah. I'm not getting caught at the border with fucking 20 different action figures in my body cavity search or anything like that. I'm going to take a year off and just hope that sanity takes over for next year. Because it's not running the show right now.
I really hope we can work that out by June.
Oh, yeah, right.
I really
Oh,
want to
boy.
see my buddy.
Mhm.
Really
The
see my
war
buddy.
against toy collectors. Mr. Trump, what is your problem?
Yeah. Maybe he'll go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then I definitely want to see Sergeant Slaughter put a chokehold that's effective.
He'll show up and try to get himself made into a Joe, probably. Never know. All right. I got her little bird cage hung back on her. She's good to go. All right. I'm good to go. You mentioned
Yeah.
on what you had going on the channel. Anything you wanted to add to that? Needed to add?
No, just, me just making more display stuff. That's it. We'll
All
get there.
right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Pop,
All right.
what are you
Well,
talking about? It's not doomsday here. Pop. Doomsday will come and we won't get to bitch about it. We got to bitch before doomsday. That's where we are.
yeah, I mean, we're still going to buy it and you know it. I think I want to buy it, but I don't know it. It depends on what kind of price tag they slap on it. I want it all, but I don't need it all. And if it got to cut some stuff out, then it's going to be time to looking at what gets cut out, what's priority. So hopefully we won't get there, but I guess we're going to find out. Going to learn today.
Make all your toys out of sticks and mud again.
Yeah, like we did when we was a kid. Had to go out and break a branch off an oak tree and whittle it down to make me a gun. Used to use dirt clods for grenades and try to throw them in the water, get submarines and blow up in the creek. And that's really stuff that we did.
Well, I'm not that far from that. Whittle a gun to go rob the toy store of their toy guns. All right, shall we get out of here, my friend?
Should be all good after winning that dragon. You had plenty of money left over. But yeah, absolutely all the money that I wasn't going to spend on one to start with, I have left over. So it will actually cost me money because I have to pay to ship it.
Yeah.
But
this dragon the dragon will forever be the sign of the great toy apocalypse that besieged us in 2025. There you go.
Nothing like it ever made before. So I don't know. We'll see how all that plays out. I got their info. They got mine. We'll see. I'm excited. I'm still in awe,
It's still toys,
they
man.
did say that they should ship it for free. And, I can see it, but also like, we're giving you $1,000 set. Like you can hoof the shipping charges. So I'm fine with that. Would have been nice,
Yeah.
but I can't complain. It's gonna be like 100 and it's gonna be like I think one that I already know the shipping cost on was something like $79. So
yeah,
that's not
I was
too
gonna
bad.
say they offered for you to pick it up too, right? You can always look into whether that's more viable as well, right? But
yeah, I mean, I'd love to go up there and pick it up just for the experience of it. But you're talking driving and gas all the way up there or flying, and I'm not going to try to fly back with that shit in cargo. So you know, it's kind of a logistics issue for me to be able to do that. I don't know. We'll see. I got a long time to figure it out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
my channel, I shall soon have. I don't know if I'll do a full unboxing video on Jigsaw, but I am going to do a video on Jigsaw. And then I've got a DJ here, so I got to be getting these guys out in the next day or two, I hope. And then
Nice.
Punk's Pit Friday night.
Yeah.
Plan on hanging out there for a minute.
You know.
But that's the rundown, ladies and gentlemen. So this time, for real, we're gonna get out of here. Again, thanks everybody for watching. Love you guys, and we will be back. We'll see all of you guys back here in about 2 weeks. And this has been Backyard Battlefield 3-star draw, Crusty Old Crow. See ya.
Thanks, guys.